That's awesome. What, a half hour early. Wow. That's great. First in today, Jack Johnson. Hope nobody was stuck in the snow over the weekend, too. It was a real disaster at some places. Victor Sanchez is here. GC. Eddie Brown made it in early fourth today. Man, Sean is back. Haven't seen you for a while. Edgar. Yeah, 24 more minutes, but we're here now. Nice. Trucking Wife. Hi there. What's going on out there today? William is here. David, Jeff. Wow, it's a big house today. General Stupidity, not quite first today. We got to get it earlier than that. Okay, good. Thanks, Edgar. Yeah, dot.foods, right, looking good. Let me know how that goes if you go over there. I'm always curious when people go there, what is the actual story versus what they say. Because there's no way to tell the difference until you actually get there. Wow, Bill, hey, what's happening? Mr. Skeptical is back. Where are you today, man? Are you still in the fires out there? Mark is here today. Thank you for coming. Bluish hue, nice. All is going great today. Steven is in the house today. I'm trying to get this second screen fired up down here so it'll keep up with everything. That's technology for you right there. Tapping. That's great video too, by the way, right? I'm sure, right? All right. Okay, there. Now we finally got an update. Kim is here. Tomorrow's your last day. All right, good. Oh, at Werner to do Bush beer loads. Yeah, everybody that talks about these mega carriers like that, anybody that's on a dedicated account seems to like it. So let me know how it goes over there. Presumably it's going to go good. Geeks Trucking, what's going on? Oh, you work at Dot Foods. Good. What do you say about Dot Foods, Ivona? What do you think? William, good afternoon. Terry. Let's see. Zeke the Dragon. Yeah, what's happening out there? Oh, you made it all the way back home, Mr. Skeptical? That's great. Great. Jody from Oklahoma City. No snow down there, I don't think, today. Sitting at the dock earning detention. That's great. Mr. Stevens, that's the way it should be, right? And I know your place pays it, so that's the way it ought to be. Swift is offering college. I saw that. It's through Northern New Hampshire University, right? Some kind of New Hampshire University. That may not be the word for it, but what's the point of that? Are drivers dying to go to college? I don't think that's a great thing. Yeah, of course, Nelson. You go ask away, right? I try to get to everybody in the comments. Sometimes they go by fast, so if I can't get to you, just re-comment. Ivan, hello. Johnny, right. David, has anyone worked for... Yeah, has anybody worked for Yellow? That's a good question. Is anybody working for Yellow? Probably not. We'll see. You're sitting in Virginia trying to get to New Jersey. That's not a word that I ever want to say. I'm trying to get to New Jersey. Watch out for those Virginia moose, too. I commented about that, everybody. For everybody, watch. If you're in Virginia, watch for the moose crossings. How do you get your restriction taken off your license? Okay. To get it taken off, you'll have to test in a manual if they have the automatic restriction, which is an E on there. I don't know why. I guess because they already had CDLA. So, but their automatic restriction is an E, as far as I understand. To get it off, you'll have to test in a manual semi. That's the only way to get it taken off, as far as I understand. I do think at some point the restriction will go away, just like a car. There's no restriction in a car, and there's so many automatics. I think it will go away, and I'm not as big on it as I was. I think you can live without it, but I'd rather they didn't have the restriction. But I think if you do have it, you can get a job. Lewis, doing very good here today. As always, it's great to be here on Monday. No snow in Chicago, yes. Good, so it didn't snow all the way up there. That's good. The online class looks like it's for office jobs. No, Swift said that was for drivers as well, if we're still talking about Swift. That you can get your degree through Swift at, this online university. And so, yeah, you can get a degree and presumably go work in the office. How great would that be? You can go work in the office for half pay. Werner promised you a brand new Peterbilt with an APU. Yeah, good. They should give you that. You're going to need it to pull those beer loads. There are more deer in the area, but the moose, those can be a real problem. What's a good lease purchase company? None of them. Don't rent a truck from a company. You're in a dock in Greenfield. Yikes. I'm looking around. I don't see out there. That's great. No more crazy hot days in Arizona. Well, that's all relative, right? It's 36 here today, right now. What do I think about starting with Schneider? I think you got to start somewhere. I think everybody's got to start somewhere, for sure. So if they'll get you what you want, then give it a whirl. If you don't have money to pay for it yourself, which is always the best way to do it, buy the truck school yourself or get it done through the state. Which I always say, check your state Department of Unemployment. A lot of them pay for school for you, and you don't have to work about it. You don't have to pay it back. That's a great way to do it. Oh, picking up sheetrock and heading to Texas. All right. Dot, let's say dot before they yell at me again, is good. They don't, oh, so you're in the no touch, right? Okay. They do what they say and money's good. Excellent. That's excellent because you can either unload the truck or no touch. So it was your choice there, which I kind of like. Some people like unloading the truck and some people don't. No info on Napa, although I've said go check Napa out as a private carrier. They have a large terminal in Indianapolis. You did the Cube Life for 26 years. Yeah. I don't see going to... Truck drivers are just not the ones saying, man, if I would work here, if only they would offer me college. I mean, that's just not the kind of thing. Look, say you're 50 or whatever, however old, 40. You go get a job, you go get a college degree. Who's going to hire you? Let's be honest about it. They're not going to say, oh, you're too old. But you go walking somewhere, they're not going to hire you. Maybe the trucking company itself would. And then you can go be a dispatcher for $40,000 or whatever they make. You're not going to get a job outside of that. That's just the truth of it. Tony, your company's going all automatics. A lot of companies, all our new trucks are automatics. We still have some sticks, but every new truck that comes in that I've seen, no matter what brand, it's automatics. So I think not too long from now, it's not going to be a huge problem. There'll be some companies you can't work for, but I think you could get a job with it. I mean, no problem. Paid $5,200 in your pocket for your CDL. That's still a bargain. That's less than college. You pay $5,000 and go get a career. That's a semester at Purdue. And that's just your books. Does trucking have to deal with layoffs? Two dogs. No. Because people always have to eat, and people always need toilet paper. Because if you do one, you got to have the other one, and all that stuff's got to be moved around. Even if everybody lost their job, everybody would be on food stamps, and people still have to eat. They still have to have a place to live. They'll fix their old cars when the economy gets bad. So I've not experienced a trucking layoff, where they go, oh, we're laying everybody off, we don't have anything to do. There's changes that come around, but you will always be able to get a job. Let's put it that way. The GM just closed 5 plants, okay, are going to close, right? And so those drivers, there's a lot of drivers and suppliers and stuff, they'll be laid off. But the truck drivers, will be able to get a job somewhere else. Any truck on the West Coast that trains with manuals? Yeah, let's see what the people say about that. It's 30 and snowing in Spokane. That's horrible. 67 in Virginia. Yeah, it looked warm on the video. Automatics are no good. All right. I don't have any problems with them. Yeah, pay the school up front, and most companies will reimburse as well. So even if you pay it, you can get reimbursement. I think that it can be done that way. Worst case, though, have somebody pay for it. You still get your license. You get in a truck, you get a career for even $10,000. Still worth it. Well worth it. If you have an automatic, I've never had a problem getting a job. Yes. There's some companies that tell me they only have manuals. There's not that many that have only manuals. Will there be places you can't work? Yes. There's some. But it isn't the problem that it used to be not that long ago. No need for toilet paper if you have a pine cone. Well, we'll leave that right there. Yikes. You paid $1,000 out of pocket for your CDL. Man, when was that? Okay, when you got in the military, you got to use your GI Bill. Nice. And your name is Derek. Okay, I'll probably forget that. I'm going to try to remember it, though. Kenworth Ryder, hello. The biggest threat to your job is your license. Correct. You get, even in your... And that's crazy. Especially in traffic. How much simpler is that to drive an automatic? I mean, that's the way to do it. Can you tell anybody asks about, we don't want them in this industry? Yes, I don't ask about the hair follicle at companies anymore. I don't agree. If you are worried about passing the drug test, you're at the wrong place. First time at live from Richmond, hauling for Purdue. Oh, nice. Purdue meats, right? Farm. meat stuff. Excellent. And thanks for coming in. I do this live every Monday at 1 p.m., rain or shine. And yes, we'll be here on Christmas Eve. You paid $4,700 for your license. Don't you think it's a bargain? Even if you ended up paying for it and didn't get any reimbursement, I think it's a bargain. Asphalt Cowboy, thanks, I appreciate that. Anybody that wants to as well can write to me at mark@truckinganswersnation.com. It's in the description as well. I answer every email that I get. You paid $600 for your CDL. That's a bargain. Jeez. You rented a truck and trailer and paid for the test? Wow. How did that work? A lot of places won't rent you a truck. Somebody asked me about that once, so I checked into it at Penske. They said no. They would rent a truck to a company. So I thought that was interesting. Because I said, hey, I want to rent a truck for a test. They're like, no, thank you. So maybe some places do that, but that's harder to do than I thought it would be. I thought if you could pay, you could get it. They said no. UPS freight contract completed, $1.50 a mile, basically. For owner-operators. That's better than I've seen at some places. What's the topic about California? Yeah, well, California, there's a link to the article in the description as well, that they're not going to accept paper logs, okay? So unless you have in your possession the exemption that you applied for and received from the FMCSA because of your ELD going bad, or you are exempt for whatever other reason, you have a glider kit or whatever and got your exemption, they're not going to take your paper log. You're going to be placed out of service for 10 hours because you're going to be considered as not having a logbook. So you either have your ELD in California, or you're going to sit there for 10 hours. That's what they said this week. They're writing tickets. They've been warning people since April 1st, they said, and basically they're sick of it. Everybody's still coming with the paper log saying, oh, my ELD just quit. You can email the FMCSA. There's a way to do it. I don't have to do it as a company driver. The company does it, but I know there's an email that the company or you would put through if you're an owner-operator. And apparently it comes back not that long from then on the in an email, your exemption, whatever it is, for having a problem. So that's how you have to do it. If you do not have that in California and you do not have an ELD, you will be placed out of service. That was in the article, and they're going to write you a ticket. That's what they're saying. So they're serious about it now. So it's time to get ready and start tossing that paper log out the window, I guess. You're going to go to start with Swift. I don't like Swift because Swift has a 2-year payback on the school. It's one of the longest paybacks that I've seen, and I'm not a fan of that. The 2-year payback, no, you pay them for a year, then they pay you back. So just for that reason, I don't like Swift for a truck school. There are better options than that. Hello from the Red Wines. Well, nice. Hello out there. You paid $1,500 and went your truck and they reimbursed in 10 months. That's better. A year or less is better, but Swift is 2 years. 2 years. So I'm not a fan. You're going to sit there for 2 years. And the first year, you pay them and then they pay you back. It's like a reverse program. Not a fan. Amanda, I'm having an awesome day here live, and I hope everybody out there is having a great day trucking. New company for a new driver. I'd say, check into something like Millis, because you're going to get a higher rate of pay. And if you have no money, Rail will pay you while you're in truck school. Maverick, those kind of places. But 2 years is too long. 2-year payback is way long. Anybody would be better if it's a year. You save an entire year of your life. So anything is better than that. Boycott Stevens, I saw that come up. Yes, I agree with that. Swift offered you $60 for a detention hour. I'd like to see that in writing. Operator. Hey, Bob. Hello from Toledo. Hey, what's going on? In City of Jeeps. You drove for a local beer company, got your CDL in a week. That's great. Geeks is making $2,000 a week. That's awesome. Send that to me. I'd love to see that kind of check. I always want to see those larger checks before I verify that. Huh. You have a glider kit and carry the paper, right? Brian says exactly. So you have the exemption or the information about the glider kit, so you're exempt. That's totally correct. What they've been happening is in California, they've been having people saying, "Oh, it just broke or it's not working or whatever," without the exemption. Either it either doesn't work or they say I have a glider kit, but then they don't have any paperwork to back it up. And California said, "No more warnings. You're getting a ticket and you're going to be put out of service because we don't know how long you've been driving." So that's what they're saying. California is saying the mandatory is now. And the article is in the description. You can go read it. They're going to ticket people. They've been warning people since April. Have your paperwork or have an electronic log or expect to sit. That's what they're saying. Why don't I check out a dock-to-driver program with an LTL? Yeah, that's a good idea too. Like Yellow, that's another good way to get your license. They're advertising here that they're paying for the whole thing, so not bad. Allentown, Killian, right? Hauling gas, making $6 a month and home every day. That's not bad. That's fueling your paycheck right up. I said it. I said it. 2,000 a week. You want to see the paychecks? I want to see it too. A Mark at truckinganswersnation.com. You're going to block your information, but not. I can't. The company's got to be on there. It can't just be like a handwritten, thing. That's not going to be legit. Comfortable man. Hey, what's going on out there today? Doing good here today. Yeah, call local companies. Look, a lot of these local places, you don't realize they will help you get your license. Like Yellow, Holland has a program like that. A lot of these places will help you get your license if over the road is something that you don't want to do. There's several ways to get into trucking. Oh, nice. 77 in Oahu. Are you in Oahu? Are you a Hawaii trucker, really? You got a DOT inspection and asked if you have a paper log in case your electronic log goes out. That's correct. If you have an electronic log, you're required to carry a paper log in case your ELD goes out. That is correct. So everybody with an electronic log, if you don't have a blank paper logbook, go get one. Go to the next truck stop and buy a logbook. You're required to carry that in case your log goes out. That is true. What do I think about 43 cents a mile? Well, what do you think about 43 cents a mile, and what does that include? For example, JB Hunt has some lower pay on their container stuff in the 30 cents a mile range, in the mid 30s. But all the stops pay, waiting, picking up, dropping off. So what's the whole week pay? What does the entire week pay? So does it come out to be, Dot Foods is a perfect example. They were in the 40 cents range, but if you unloaded that truck me at 10 cents a case, you're looking at thousands of cases, it ended up at 50, 60 cents a mile, 70 cents a mile. So what does it end up with at the end of the week? If there's a bunch of extra stuff that you get paid for, what do you make at the end of the week? That's really what matters. What do you make on Friday? Because that's what's going to pay the Duke Energy bill. The mileage, it may not be your entire pay. Like Dot Foods is a very good example of that. ABF has a driver apprenticeship program? Yes. They do. Oh, you're active duty station on Oahu. That's awesome. That's a good duty station, I would say, really. Oh, it's 80 in Charlotte today, too? That's nice. I've looked into trucking in Hawaii because the wife always wants to move there naturally because everybody does. It doesn't pay that much in Hawaii, really, to be a truck driver. Really didn't pay that much more. I was seeing $22, $25 an hour. Not tremendously great considering the cost of living. But also need an 8 days blank paper log to hand it. Yes. Please check. Had an inspection. You do need a blank. I tell people just to buy a blank logbook and have it with you. So just throw it in, a couple bucks, throw it in the truck, and then you always have it with you. Is California good for trucking? Well, they're getting people an electronic log. If you live there, right, you have no choice but to work there. $4.19 a gallon for gas, presumably, or diesel. That's pretty high. I mean, it's $3.35 for diesel. Filled up the wife's car here for $2.67 yesterday. You get a sore back for slinging freight. Dot Foods has no touch as well. How much air pressure should your drive tires have? What's the tire say, right? We run 100 pounds. There's a sticker on the truck. Some companies have more or less. It depends. Just like a car tire. So but it's going to average around 100. There's a sticker there. Be sure to fill to 100 pounds or whatever. Estes and Old Dominion have dock-to-driver programs. Yeah, Estes is another one. Has these kind of programs. UPS does. You have to work your butt off for a few years, but you get your foot in. They're running ads right now, but it says seasonal right in the ad. So I don't know what that means. I don't know when you may get a job, how long you're going to stay there. It's $2.99 in Virginia for diesel. That's good if you're paying for it, I guess. If you're not paying for it, it doesn't make too much difference, I suppose. All the trailers are preloaded. That's good, and then they're live unloaded. And you get 20 an hour starting immediately where you're being unloaded. See? And you get extra stuff like stop pay. So that's worth it. So since you're going to get pay immediately, most people are going to sit there for free. So the end of the week, your mileage won't be 43 cents. It'll be in the 50, 55-cent range probably because of all this extra pay. That's what matters. Just joining Cat and Jack. All right. Who do I work for? I cannot give you a hint. It is a trucking company. I will give you that kind of hint. I don't ever talk about where I work. That way I keep them out of my videos because I kind of give some companies grief. And so if the company says, oh, well, they're a friend of ours, you can't be talking like that. I don't want them giving me any problems. I've been there over 16 years at my company of my 30 years of driving. So I'm going to just keep it like that. And also, though, I don't recruit for my company. So a lot of people on YouTube are out just recruiting. Oh, sign up here. Here's my name and number. All right, I don't do any of that. So I don't get paid for that either. So I keep them out of it, and I don't recruit for them either. That lets me say whatever I want to say. And they can just go on and do whatever they want to do. Let's see. Are recap tires good? People say recaps are bad. I haven't had any more problems with recaps than regular tires. The trucks get regular, virgin tires, and the trailers get caps. I haven't noticed any difference either way. So for my personal use, probably blow 1 or 2 tires a year, one of each. Seems to be about even for me. Let's see. I should do a video on how to do tire blowouts. Yeah, just pull over and call somebody. I mean, that's basically all it is, right? Pull over and head to a safe spot and call somebody to bring you a tire. And, you can roll it a little ways. I'd roll a single off the interstate to the next exit if I could, rather than staying on the side of the road, which is kind of a problem. Because I don't want that tire guy standing out there. It's bad. It's super unsafe. Oh, the USX owner-operator is here to throw knives at me. I should start every live broadcast with a disclaimer. Yeah. Not everybody's on live at the beginning, but I agree, right? That is my disclaimer, though. I don't want them giving me grief on my videos. You want to start a sand hauling business? Well, you're a mechanic making $2,100 a week in the oil field. Dang it. Can you hire drivers to run your own company? Sure, you could. It doesn't matter that you're 19. You could hire drivers to run a company, absolutely. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. He's come down to here, right? You could talk. You could, right? Somebody can run a company. Go right ahead. Problem is, would somebody work for you when you're 19? Maybe. I think some people would be more hesitant. And be sure to have employees, not 1099 contractors. We don't want any of those kind of problems. We want people to be legitimate. So don't start 1099 and I got to call you out on it. We don't want to do that. I want everybody to be an employee that's supposed to be an employee at your company. Do I get paid by the hour or the mile? Both, right? It depends what I'm doing. I get paid for most all of my time. I would say 90% of my time is paid. Is it you or it's a bad connection? I seem to be having a problem today. I don't know why I have the Wi-Fi right. It's literally a foot away from me. So it maybe somebody said the stream stopping as well. So I may actually have to end it because of that. So we'll see how it goes here. Smith Transport is 48 cents for 38. How do you get 3,800 miles? Who wants to work like that? Nothing west of I-35. Walmart runs 65 cents. All right. We'll give that. That's not bad. 3,800 miles a week is a lot of running. Certainly possible as long as they give you long loads. I see that would be a lot more of a problem if the load is short. You want these long loads, kind of ShipX style, where you have these 1,800 mile loads. when you want to get 3,800 miles in on a week. You can't do 200-mile loads and be unloading every day. At least drop and hook. If anyone got lucky and asked about a company that I worked for, and how would you explain that? I would just explain what I know about the company, just like any other company. So there. So that's how that would work. Everybody is. It doesn't really matter. I mean, here's the thing of it. I drive like everybody else. I'll be leaving in a little bit to go driving, and that's the story. And if a company doesn't pay detention somewhere, and I call them out, and then so my company knows them or whatever, and then they're going to go, hey, what are you doing? Don't be calling out these companies because you're representing us because you're saying our name. That's the real problem of it, that they can say, we don't want to be involved in your, calling places out like that because our name is in that and we want to be nice in the industry. So that's why I leave them out of it. It's, I think everybody really should. And, when you see somebody come on and all they do is recruit, they've been at their call, I'm here a week, here's all my information. How are we supposed to take that in any kind of consideration? They're only on to recruit for their company. I'm not doing any of that. Okay, most of the places that I put out there would never have me as a driver. They'd be like, this guy hates us. Why would he work here? So, to make my videos where I can say whatever I want, I have to keep people's name, that are involved in paying me out of it. Let's see, CPC Logistics. 39 cents and $12 an hour for non-driving time in Atlanta. That's kind of a little bit low because of the extra time. And I've had a discussion about Dynamic, which I put out there the other day. But their detention after 4 hours is not great money for anybody. So waiting for 4 hours for detention is not any good. You should be paid detention as soon as you're waiting, not, I have to wait for 4 hours. Yes, I'm home every day now. I had to change earlier in the spring over because Trucking Answers takes 20 to 30 hours a week of my time to do. I get 2 to 3 dozen emails on some days, which I answer all of them. I have a blog, which I get to mention here, which you can read at truckinganswersnation.com. I do a lot of different kinds of stuff, so it takes a lot of time. I took a lot shorter run. I took a pay cut and took a shorter run where I'm home every day, and that gives me the time to change the industry so that we can get paid for all of our time. That's the goal. I want everybody paid for all their time. I'd really like to see everybody paid hourly. That's really what I think. You wouldn't log illegal if you're paid hourly, for sure. For sure. You break them up with all your payment demands. Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Skeptical. Oh, thanks, Captain Jack. Yes. I do. I try to get out. I have to work on the speaking more slowly. I agree with that. With the UPS, they ask you a million questions. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you would disclose that, it's one thing where people just put out their company and say, oh, I work here and it's great and trucking is great. That's one thing. I call out a company, sometimes a couple of them every week. And I think that would be a real problem. That could be a real problem because they go, hey, we know these people over here. What are you doing? Because our name is then put out there. So that's why I don't, that's what I'm saying about it. Thanks, Highway Surfer. I appreciate that. Will DUI stop you from getting an apprenticeship? I love how companies are saying apprenticeship. That's number one. Yes, absolutely. DUI is a huge, huge problem. I mean, you could be looking at possibly 10 years. Some places less. Unfortunately, I'd have to tell you to probably call Western Express, of all places, because they will probably hire you with a DUI that is not that old. But if you just got it, you're just not going to get any kind of decent job. You could probably work for an owner-operator that has a truck. It's not illegal to hire you, as long as you have a license. Okay, that isn't the thing. But you're just going to have a very tough time with a DUI. Very tough. Fight it and get it off your license. But if it's on there, Western is your only chance. And I'm getting to be a hero for the industry. Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. You get paid by the hour and you get more money than when you're paid by the mile. Yes, because all your time is paid. Hourly always ends up paying more. You want to make more, not work more. People are always like, oh, I need extra hours to work more. I'm like, no, you need extra money for the hours you're already working. He had a friend who retired from Yellow. It was Roadway, yes. It used to be Roadway. As an aside, as a very young pup in the industry with the dinosaur, I got accepted at Roadway when I used to live in the Chicago area, up at South Holland or wherever. I don't remember the city. Anyway, I went to their orientation and decided it wasn't for me because you had to be on call for, they could call you in after 8 hours and you never knew your schedule. And I'm like 21 and a half or something. I'm like, forget this. So I turned it down then. I imagine where I'd be, if I had stayed there all these years later and just stayed at Roadway then, which that has turned to yellow and the terminal is still open there off of 394. So that's where I could have been, but that's the past, I guess. I'm sure he's getting an excellent pension as well, which is nice. BTI 60 cents a mile. You've had 5 DUIs. The last one was '05. Yikes. You need to go get a program somewhere, man. I mean, really. Can you go to with CR England? I don't think you can get I don't think CR England will take you with a DUI. I don't think so. Greetings. Watch this start your workout. Enjoy your channel. Yes, thank you. Yes, I'd like to watch YouTube during my long workouts as well. I can't believe I even said that. With a DUI, only sorry companies will hire. Yeah, but Edgar, that may be his only, or her, right? Look, they're right. That may be their only choice, right? Western Express may be that kind of place, or some owner operator that's got 2 trucks. That may be it. Or you may be, I don't know, working at a truck stop. I don't know, as a cashier. That might be your only choice. It's got to be 3 to 5 years, even with one of them, before they will hire you. Have I thought about doing a video with Jay Cannell? I think it would be an awesome collaboration. No, I never thought about it. Does he do collaborations like that? Is 62 old to start a trucking career? Of all the things, you can get a job at 60 as in a trucking career. You can do it. You can't. Would I do it? I don't know. Do you need to do it? I mean, if you need the money, it's probably the only thing you're going to do. So yeah, you can do it. You can do it. There are people on here that have written to me in their 50s that have started a new career and are doing very well. You have a really good pension and think of retiring. Have I heard of a trucking company that took their employee pension fund when an economic downturn? Well, there's the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation, PBGC, through the federal government that is supposed to guarantee your pension, supposedly. I don't exactly know how that works. I don't have a pension. But there is the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation that even if they bankrupt or collapse, supposedly your pension is guaranteed. I'd check into it. And you can always drive part-time through like a temp service. You could drive as little as a day a month at some places. Oh, nice. Humping to Please Camel 66. Yes, nice, Todd. That is, I do remember that. In Illinois, you can't get a CDL if you've had over 2 DUIs. Oh, that's interesting. They block the CDL? Wow. Forever? Is it a lifetime blockade on it? And does that matter if it was in a car or in a truck? What am I going to do with all those Blue Parrots you showed before? All right. Yes, Blue Parrot. They are a sponsor of the channel now. I'm getting sponsors for the channel to help the channel grow and everything. And so I talked to Blue Parrot. I go, hey, we got people here that love your product. Let's get the word out. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, all right. They go, what do you want? So that's for 1 headset. They sent me 4 headsets. So heck, I got to give them away. There's going to be giveaway shows of Blue Parrot headsets. And there's a picture of it there. And there's a picture on my Facebook page as well. 2 350s and 2 400s. So awesome. We're going to give them away. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And they are the greatest. I don't have a new one like that. So I've been trying the 350 kind. And it's just great. It's just incredible how quiet it is, right? And I'm not just saying that because they sent them, okay? It really is good. And I'm sure everybody agrees with me. And they're sending them. And so that's why I put the logo on there, right? They're sponsoring the channel because they think drivers should get paid for all their time as well. And they want to help out. So they sent 4. I asked for 1, they sent 4, which is awesome of them. So give love to Blue Parrot, and we are going to give them away. And that will be announced. I have to put the rules in the description and everything. So I have to announce that, put rules. There's rules that I have to follow for YouTube, basically, and the law. But we're going to give them away. How about that? They're like $140 a piece. Nice. and they're going to be great. So you have an older version of Trooper Rage, and it's great. Yeah, I mean, how great are they? Here's somebody with a 250, 4 years old, going great. I mean, they're just super good. You're going to tell your company you need to be off the road from Monday from 1 to 3? Yes, you should put that down. Tell them on Mondays you have to have a 2-hour mandatory break. I totally agree. David says you're never too old to be a trucker. You can get a job at 60. There's no question about it. It isn't like other industries where if you walk in, you're not going to get a job. You can get a job at 60 with no experience in trucking. So if you can pass a physical, the DOT physical, get your license, you can get a job. Yes. Let's see. You use the 350 in the truck and at home. Yeah, I was going to do it on here, and I forgot to see whether you can have it on with the video. So, because I think I would sound better that way. Not that I sound great, but I think it'd be easier to hear me as well. So I'm going to get that. I forgot to try it out, so I will. Trucking, highway surfer, trucking is a fun job. Trucking is a great career. People don't realize, there's a lot of hassles and stuff, but where else are you going to be able to go? You basically control your day. It's a great career. You'll make excellent money. There's tons of jobs for you if you want a job somewhere else for a year, or you can be home every day. You in trucking. It's great about it. It's a really great. But there are some companies that need to change, and there's some things that need to go, like drivers need to be paid. There's 4 hours of no pay, or you have to wait a full day before we give you $50. That's ridiculous. I always say the example, would you send your teenager to work at McDonald's, and then she comes home and says, oh, well, I worked 8 hours, but the first 4 hours, they don't pay me anything, because you have to wait 4 hours before you get paid. Nobody would tolerate that. You'd march down there immediately and make her quit and yell at Ronald and say, listen, you, get out, you grimace, get over here. I'm not going to tolerate this from you. Slap him with cheese and stuff. You wouldn't tolerate it. And it shouldn't be tolerated in trucking either. Oh, I just sent a survey that said they're looking into, it was a detention survey, which you should join, remember, about detention, and they're looking into whether they should challenge the Fair Labor Standards Act, which is where truck drivers are exempt from minimum wage and overtime laws. So, and I said, yeah, absolutely. So that would solve part of the problem, but not all of it. I think it'll help, though. It will certainly help. In the UK, you use tachographs, yes, and digital cards, and abide by working drive time. Yes, that's correct. They have these tachographs, round thing that goes in the truck, records your time for the day, and so all your time is absolutely recorded. Works out good. Can you cheat it the way the drivers do here? ABF and Maverick seem like good options. I think so. Depending on what you do, but absolutely. Can I review a good company for owner-operators? Edgar. Here's the thing about owner-operator companies and that kind of thing. The pay is so varied. So $1.50 to one person is good, and to another person, it isn't good. And that's the problem. I guess I could put the information out of what they pay. That would be more like a spotlight company. Because, like, my truck is lifetime 8.6 miles to the gallon. So, I could make more money, presumably, if I was an owner-operator than somebody that got 6.5 miles to the gallon doing the exact same work every week. That's what I think. So I think part of being an owner-operator is your equipment. You need better mileage and something that doesn't break down all the time. That is not that expensive. And so that's much harder to find. Your fuel is your biggest cost, right, owner-operators? So if you use less of it, you could put more of that money in your own pocket, for sure. You work your butt off sitting down, looking out the windows and listening to music. That's not bad. XM radio, I hope. I listen to podcasts, if anybody does that. I'm a big podcast person. I have a podcast app, and it just downloads the ones that I tell it all, automatically. You can deduct XM radio, certainly. That's what I think too. Okay, I love Crap Company of the Week too. Getting these companies out there that are just hosing people. It's just the stuff I find is just ridiculous. Some of the ways that they have to get over on people, I just don't understand. Europe has smaller trucks. They have, single axle day cabs is what I always see, but 3-axle trailers. You can cheat the TAC cards, nice. So just like the ELD. Yeah, sometimes your free storage for the shippers, that's half the problem sitting there. The old card is gone like a credit card system and can Bluetooth. Oh, super great. There's no reason why those tachographs can't do that. XM radio is on repeat 24. Is that the name of the channel, 24? Which tractor is good on fuel? The one that, well, look, I like my Cascadia. I think you can set up most trucks to be good on fuel that are already efficient. Like I said, ours runs, under 1200 RPM at 65. And I think that's important. It has to be set up for the way you run. Palm Beach, Florida is 88. Nice. How long does it take to pay back for your CDL at Stevens? I don't know. Stevens, which I have a video about, which I recommend you go watch. It's an older video. It's been out there for a little while. They're one of my first crap companies of the week. Congratulations to them. They wouldn't really answer any of my questions. So I think that's awesome. So I'm really not sure about that, but I'll tell you this. I would never work there, and I don't recommend you work there because they wouldn't talk to me. Any place that won't answer your questions, you got to be suspect about that. Troy, am I giving away headsets? No, not today. I will not be giving any out today, but they will be given out. Those headsets are going to go. I've got some 350 and some 400s that will be given away, but there'll be an announcement about that. I have to put a bunch of rules in the description and stuff like that to satisfy YouTube, or they'll come here and break my kneecaps. So the giveaways have to be done in a certain way, but that was for Blue Parrot, which we talked about. I asked for one, they sent 4, and they will be given away. That's what they sent them for. They want you to have them. They want to support the channel, and I'm all for that. That lets the channel grow with a good product. I mean, there's no question it's a good product, and I can still grow the channel, and give this stuff away, and everybody's happy then, right? Yes, exactly. They'll break my kneecaps, I'm telling you. I would say get every endorsement. I would say get your endorsements as well. I don't know about the Twicket Passport because of the cost, only if you need them. But the other endorsements, yes. We don't need, David, we do need rules, or no more Monday live show on any show. We have to do that. Have to do that, or there won't be any more Mondays or any other days. YouTube Mafia, they're everywhere. They're watching. Believe me. There's a lot of rules that you have to follow. There are. It's somewhat a pain to get hazmat and Twic. A lot of companies will pay your hazmat too. So, like where I work, they pay it. And a lot of places I find, probably 80% of the places that I find pay it. Or at least pay it back. So, you're getting it basically free. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Most places I find do pay it. If they want you to have it, they pay it. And if they don't, you could tax deduct it. So at least you get that, because it's certainly a work expense. You wouldn't use your hazmat endorsement other than work. England is very evasive too. They were better than Stevens. Stevens is probably the worst off. When you're looking for a job, they always tell me to sign an application and then they answer questions. I agree, Edgar. They do, and I don't tolerate that. I'm not going to apply. And that's what I told them at Stevens. That was the whole problem. Well, have you applied yet? No, I want to ask you, what does it pay? Well, apply, and we'll have a recruiter contact you. No, I'm not filling out a 40-page or whatever, 10-year history of application, work and everything, and then you're going to call me? No. How about you tell me about your company up front and then decide? But they weren't having any of it. I don't understand why they do that. Your brand new Kenworth, nice. T680 battery light comes on when you drive. Oh, that's awesome. It's been in the shop 3 times. They can't find anything wrong. Does that light, I think that light means that the batteries are there. That's like a battery is present light. That's what's on in that one. So I think that's why the mechanics aren't finding it. Stevens starts at 36 if you go to their school. That's low. Most companies do not pay any more to have more money. I don't know. They pay for that hazmat. Most companies, the Twic and all that, no. But they're paying to actually have the hazmat. So I think it's worth it just because the company pays it. David wouldn't apply using your pen. I love that. That's great. Can I use your 3 years playing trucking simulator as experience? 2 months counts as 1 month. So that's how you have to do that. So it counts as a year and a half experience. And you still have more experience than most trainers at England. So I think that's really good. Oh, nice. CK driver. I appreciate that. Drinking more water. Feeling a little under the weather today. So sorry about that. I'm not trying to interrupt the stream. Little cough syrup thing. If your company has a no weapons rule, get an ASP and use it as a tire knocker. Dual purpose. Yeah. Okay. They do have a no weapons rule where I work as well. Where am I from? I'm from the great state of Indiana. I'm in North Dakota and pull a hopper. Everything we do is hurry up and get there and wait in line to load. That time should be paid. Could be 15 minutes or 5 hours. You better get paid for that 5 hours. And if you don't, that's exactly my gripe of the industry. There's no reason you should wait for free. You signed an application and decided not to work there. They asked my employer for verifiable experience. Right. So your boss was mad because I was trying to quit. That's exactly correct, too. That's exactly correct. They'll call your employer, and they'll say, "Hey, what about Edgar? What's it?" And then they know you're quitting. That's another reason not to do it, unless you're super serious or they already know you're quitting or something like that. But they're going to call and verify. If nothing else, if you fill out an application, I wouldn't put my current employer on it. And usually there's a box that says, "Can we contact your current employer?" I would tell them no, but they probably will anyway. So I wouldn't put them down. I'd say, "Look, you can look through my stuff if you want to do it that way. But you cannot contact my current employer because they're going to fire me." Are the other 49 states ignoring the law? No. California's been being nice, but it's time to start enforcing the law. Well, they're just not enforcing it as much as California. California is like getting serious about it. And they know that if one state does it, the other ones will follow because it's going to be just like Kansas last week. They're going to be able to get more fine money. And so the other states are going to be like, "Oh, well, there's more money. We're going to enforce this as well." Thank you, Trucker T. I appreciate that. You take your CDL written test this week. Nice. Right. Just be chill on it, right? You're going to pass it. It's not that super complicated. You will pass. Don't worry about it. If people are always worried, don't worry about it. Too bad you can't upload a picture here. Had a trailer structurally fall this weekend. You can send pictures to mark@truckinganswersnation.com. And I love to see pictures there. Your California is bad. 55, I agree. That's right. Yes, David. That is true. That would help. Not in the carpet as much, I don't think. But the 55 in California, that's always been. I actually looked into it last year, if you remember. They were going to do a study. Oh, should we increase the speed limit in California? And then they're like, no way. There's way too much traffic in the desert for us to increase the speed limit. So it's still stuck at 55. All right, have you heard on whether or not they're keeping or getting rid of the brake? Martinez from the FMCSA said that in January they're going to have an announcement about what they found with all the comments. I'm anticipating the brake leaving, and that they'll probably have to do some kind of proposed rulemaking because it'll be a rule. So that would be spring, possibly. I don't know, but they're going to make an announcement in January. So just 1 month away now, believe it or not. That's what the FMCSA guy said, which is fast for the government to work. Smith is 95% drop and hook. That's the way to do it. 600 miles a day or multiple short runs, right? Forget that. You can run 3,800 miles a week if you don't chase the truck stop waitress. Well, that's the other way to get miles is drop and hook and leaving the waitresses alone. Yeah, my wife would not be happy about that. That's for sure. You don't see an issue with enforcing the law, but its states start viewing truckers as revenue generators. Too late for that, right? That's what they already see everybody as. They're going to pass stupid laws. Well, they couldn't pass a law beyond the federal law, most likely. Companies will stop sending trucks there. I don't see that happening. California has always been a bear on these kind of things with emissions and CARB and everything. Still, companies go there. So they don't seem to be ones without any freight or whatever, they should be empty. Their store should be empty there. And say at least you have to turn up the speed limit. 55 is crazy. But that doesn't seem to be happening there. So you didn't, Edgar, you did not put your current employer in the application. They pulled up who I work for using your social. Oh, nice. And then faxed them. Sweet. They're like doing an end run around your own application. So I think that is the perfect example of getting the information without applying. If you never apply to a company that you're not 100% you want to work for. That's nice that I'd gripe at them about that. They had no right to do that. What should new drivers look for when applying to a company? The side stuff. It isn't just the mileage pay. Do they have what you want there, but how much is the insurance? What's the detention policy? What's their layover policy? How often do they get you home? All this outside stuff that people only looking at mileage, how much a mile. That's not 100% of anything. What you make a week is way better than what you make a mile. But all this outside stuff is what's important because it really can affect your check. Oh, Bailey is stopping by to say hi and then got to go back to observing a student on US 60. Well, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Doing that counts as running a background check without permission. Yeah, Captain, I agree. I don't think it's legal. Unless you agreed to that, which apparently you didn't, I don't think they can do it. Of course, the problem is they already did it. Now, what are we going to do about it? There's really little you can do about it as a single person. Anything known about Averett? Who knows about Averett on here? They have the equipment you want. Like, they have Volvos? Hourly trucking job is the best. We get paid for all of your time. We're sitting around, at a dock. You should get paid. And even if it's a regular company, you should still get your detention time. Insurance is $15 for every 2 weeks for two. That's a bargain, right? For two people. That's, $30 a month? That's great. That's way less than I pay, I'll tell you that. Can you go bankrupt and put my contract in for CRST? You can go bankrupt on the contract, certainly. It's just a loan that you just owe money. I wouldn't bother going bankrupt just for that. I mean, I've been bankrupt. It isn't really any fun. But on $6,000 or $8,000, I wouldn't go bankrupt. I'd just tell them to jump ship and see, are they suing you? That's a good question. Is CRST doing something about the money that you owe them? Where do companies get your information for DAC report if they don't contact your current employer? Other companies put it on there. You were surprised to look to a food service company? Well, people on all industries, there can be companies that are paying well and doing it better. And so a place like that, hey, if they're paying for all this time and everything, then I'm in. And a lot of people may want to unload their trucks. I always hear from people that, hey, I really want to unload to, stay in shape or whatever. So this could be a place to make some money and get some exercise as well. Pros and cons of working for Coca-Cola. You get to meet all those bears. I think that'd be interesting to get their signature. Ask for a refund. Yeah, you could. FBI background check for filing Chapter 7 and 13. So the FBI checks for your bankruptcy. That's all right. I don't need a background check from the FBI. By the way their contract was written, from the video that I did, that they were going to be more aggressive about it than other people. Hassan, hey, what's happening out there? Coca-Cola is breaking your back for sure. Oh, if you're unloading at the stores, maybe. It depends. Steve from New Hampshire. Started with Gangloff. Yikes. And Downham out of Logansport way back in 78. Wow. You are the old man of the show today. You get the gold star for longest running driver at 40 years. Nice. How much negotiation then when companies try to hire someone? Yeah, I've heard from people that say they'll do a little bit of negotiation here and there. So I think you can say, hey, that's not going to be acceptable. I think it's possible. Like, look, Dot Foods offered to match my vacation, which I thought was interesting. And so now I think maybe you should ask for that at other companies if you've been there somewhere, for a while. I think you can say it's worth saying, look, 42 or whatever is not enough. I want 45. See what they say. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. It's like a car. Sitting here in Washington, yikes. Washington State, you're not going to load for free, but unloading and being willing to unload pushes your pay up. Yeah. And since they were paying, a couple of $100 for the trailer, depending on how many pieces you had at Dot, I thought that was pretty good. And it pushed the pay on some loads to $1 a mile for a company driver. Not bad. So that 45 cents wasn't really 45 cents because of so much extra pay. So the FBI looks into your financial background. Yeah, but how many of us need an FBI background check to work to do a driving job? You paid a $287 lumper fee today. Yeah, you'd unload for that price, and that's what Dot's paying. A couple hundred on their loads. Not bad. What does a TSA run through, and does a criminal record affect this? TSA. A shortcut to owner-operator is by renting a truck. However, you need to have your company name incorporated for 2 years. Yeah, right, you need a company. At least I saw it when I called Penske about it. When somebody asked me about that, you needed a company to rent a semi at all. And plus, I don't know what it costs. They wouldn't tell me because they wouldn't rent me a truck. So it'd be a really interesting way to become an owner-operator would be to rent a truck from one of these large truck rental places. So they do a full background check. That's interesting. Yeah, but who needs one? It depends what you haul, I guess. You're second in tenure. Wow, driving since '83. Yeah, I think you're second on the page for sure. You hate paying. You hate they attach the lumper fees to your check, and you lose the receipt. You don't get your money back. Well, because they want the receipt, right? Which is always a fake receipt. Oh, Joe Smith, right? The guy's not Joe Smith or whatever, but they want the receipt. So it's hard to say that's bad. They have to have the receipt for their taxes. You saw U.S. Express pulling FedEx doubles. That's a scary proposition. They rent anything except a semi. Yeah, that's right. Penske was willing to rent basically anything, but not the semi. So they wouldn't rent because they didn't have a company. They're like, well, do you have a company? I'm like, no, I want to take a CDL test. And they're like, no. Wasn't even born in 78, and you were 2 in 83. That's nice. I have some socks that I got in 1983, I think, that I'm still using. TSA will take based on the offense and how long it took place. Wow. Is it smart to back up at a job offer that you already did a drug screen and physical? The problem is, it's, I've heard that sometimes they'll put that on your DAC like you work there. They consider you employed then. And so then they'll say, oh, just quit without notice or whatever on your DAC. It could be a problem. Edgar, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Your Ryder truck is costing $850 a week plus 13 cents a mile. Oh, plus insurance. Oh my God. That's super expensive. Let me tell you what. That $850 plus 13 cents, so 2,000 miles is another $260. That's over $1,000, right? That's $1,100. Yikes. You want to go owner-operator work and then save money and then buy the truck. Yes, that'd be way better than $1,100 a week. Ugh. Why not don't attach it to your check? Well, because they're fronting you the money, right? They're paying this, so it has to come out of somewhere. Where else wants your money? They should have given it to you. They should do it directly. I agree. They should pay him direct, but they probably don't have an account set up or whatever. Oh, it's sock money. Thank you. I do need some socks, so I appreciate that. Buy a truck outright is the way. It's the best way to do it. Oh, you're right down the street too. A couple of people in Indiana today, not far. If it breaks, they fix it anywhere. Yeah, but for that's probably twice what you could buy a truck for. So you could actually buy a truck for $500 a week and save the $500 yourself. That's $25,000 a year. You're not going to have $25,000 of repairs a year. So I don't think that is a great deal. I mean, that's more than a prime lease. That's a lot of money. They're paying a lot of money. Plus insurance, you said as well. Plus insurance. I mean, that's a lot of money. Bar none doesn't go west of Kansas. Yeah, that's where all the freight is over here, right? How do you get out of a contract with CR England? Yeah, you got 4 months left, but 28 cents a mile is killing me. He wrote to me, and we talked, I think, on a show about England. The contract, so you're less than a year. It's a 5-year contract, 60-month contract, but after 12 months, they forgive it all. So at 4 months left, so you have been in 8 months. Right now, they have forgiven 8/60ths of the contract, 4/30ths. Right, 2/15ths of your contract has been forgiven. You'll own the rest of the money because you agreed to it. But say you went somewhere and got 50 cents. That's a huge pay raise. You could just pay that amount off and probably still be money ahead. Or, you got 4 months left to and owe nothing. It depends how you want to do it. Can you send in like $5 in Loves Reward points? I appreciate. No, you cannot. Oh, thanks, geeks. All right. So the wife's more important than all of us here. I see how it is. That's awesome, David. Yeah, I do pretty good in math, and I I don't know. I'd like to see some company driver that has a $2,000 check that has started. I'm always up for that kind of stuff. And there have been people that lease trucks at different companies that have sent me a payroll, and they're like, here it is. That's a lease operator, but so I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So totally great. So okay, so you've been offered 47 cents a mile from 28. So basically 19 cents a mile. 2,000 miles would be $380 a week extra, right? So the $5,000 in debt, even if you put all that to it, is only 13 weeks. Ironically, that's 3 months, right? Extra money to England for 3 months, you'd save working there for 4 months. How about that? There's some math right there. But that's how it would come out. Plus you have the time of orientation, before you get your check and get started. It's probably really close at 4 months. It seems bad if to stick it out at 28 cents. But the extra, if you paid it right away, the payoff is very, very close. It's probably worth staying on for, and then you could get out of there and tell everybody not to start there to begin with. Yeah, Bailey, send a picture over here. They can make you make your bed. Yes, we talk about that all the time. TMC, when you come into a terminal, they inspect your truck. And I've had people on here from TMC drivers that said they check the grooves in the floor mats, which is even worse than them checking your bed where you got to flip the quarter off the bed. And you have to have the wool sheet on top. Your everything has to be folded properly. I don't know about that part, but they do make you make your bed. Some of these questions, they tell me they shouldn't be. Yeah. Well, companies allow almost anybody to lease a truck. No credit check, no money down. You're in. The more you make, the more they take. But that is somewhat of a myth. Let's put that out here right now. If you make more, they take all your money. The high tax rate, right, the highest tax bracket at making $250,000, they only take 40% of your check. You still get more money. So always go to make more money. And, the more taxes you pay, it should make you happy because you're making more money. That's how I would think about it if I was ever in the highest tax bracket. In Layton, Utah, what's going on? Maximilian, nice name. Getting service done and head to Portland. It was snowing. Yeah, I saw that on the news. It looked pretty bad out there. What are we going up to Portland with? Everybody says buy your own truck. Not me. I'm not saying that. So don't include me in that. That's great, but remember the overhead. Unless you have a really good rate or your own authority, most people that own a truck don't make more than a good company driver at the end of the year if you included benefits. So when you compare it equally, it's even at best. Edgar looked into financing a truck. You didn't do it because you wouldn't make more money and would lose your benefits. That's correct. What about all the benefits you'd lose to make a few $100? No, not for me. It's not worth it to me. Have LLP or LLC right before you better your company takes a hit and you recover taxes. It's just not something for me. Or you taking frozen foods to Fred Meyer's. Fred Meyer's, for people that don't know, is a grocery chain out there. That's great. Well, you won't hardly have to run the reefer out there. We don't call them lot lizards anymore. They're now referred. Oh, nice. Horizontal highway hostesses. That's great. I should write that down. I wish I had a pen in here. That is great. The two dot foods. I keep trying to say DOT, right? I don't want them calling me back. Talked said 1,700 some weeks. I don't see why you couldn't there, because with the unloading and I think it's certainly possible to 70, 80 grand. I think it's possible. The mafia's not getting the contract. It was only 9 months. That's David. Yes. Well, that's for sure. But look, this England thing. I mean, you're probably only 4 weeks difference either way. I think it's really, really close. If you want to buy lease from a leasing company, there are leasing companies where you can lease your trucks. It doesn't have to be from a trucking company. 100% write off. Yes, that's correct. All leases are, though. Whether you lease it from a company or from outside, right? It's 100% write off. The lease is a straight write off. If I was going to start trucking today, would I choose flatbed, dry van, or reefer? It depended what I was going to do. Because, if I was going to be on the road long distance, I would probably do reefers. Because that's where I always got the best miles. It seemed like to me. So a reefer at a large company that had a lot of drop and hook, that would be the thing for me on the road. I just liked it better. I got better miles that way. You called health insurance companies, they want $1,500 a month. That's correct, Edgar. People don't realize how much health insurance is if you pay for it yourself. There's no way, that a lease operator makes as much as a company driver if they bought all the benefits as well. The only benefit they get is they don't have any benefits. What a great deal. You remember, no vacation, no holidays, no nothing. So for me, not a fan. Geeks hauls everything. Step deck, yeah. I saw you got it. Basically everything. Whatever goes on there, you'll take it. England's contract for new drivers is a year. Right, and 9 months for vets. Yes. That's what I was saying. It's a year. But and I had a driver talk to me about this. So if that's changed, let me know. That it's put out at 60 months. So if you quit early at 10 months, you've submitted 10/60ths of the contract. It's only forgiven if you do the entire year. You waited out your contract, then went to Maverick. Yeah, if you're all the way through it or a long way through it, it's probably of no benefit to not stay there. It's so disappointing to have to get that small check. But remember, you're paying off thousands of dollars in the contract as well. So that's worth something. They got you a license. But then you can spread the news once you leave for people to not go there. Little notes not get married. I don't know about that. Get a dog. Go OTR. The dog's expensive too. You'll make far more as a single person even after taxes. Look up Coltrane's domestic. Well, that's a long name. But not getting married for money. I mean, what if your wife is a doctor? How about that? Then worth it, right? And that's can't be a money choice. I mean, life can't just be only I'm going to not marry you because it's going to cost me money or something like that. That can't ever be a choice. But I would say, I guess if it is a choice for you, don't get married because your spouse may lose their job or get sick and not be able to work. And so that's just part of the deal. So, I've been married a long time, especially relative to the industry. This is here in a couple months, it'll be 23 years. So, it isn't certainly a money thing. It doesn't make any difference to me who makes money. These drivers are glorified company drivers with the privilege of paying for the company's highest cost. Lease drivers, if they lease their truck from the company, are paying off the company's trucks for them for no benefits. Awesome. Sometimes you can pick your truck color, though. You do sometimes get to do that. You're trying to buy a Maverick truck with a $500,000, and they were asking $1,600 monthly for 4 years. Well, it's only $400 a week. That's less than I've seen. Here's the thing that I would think about with company trucks, all right? Like our company trucks. I keep the same truck here, but not everybody does. So some of the trucks have varied drivers over its lifetime. Maybe 100 drivers. Or Maverick. It could have 40 drivers. You don't know how many drivers it has. What's the incentive for a company driver to do all the maintenance right on time and everything. Very little. It would worry me. It's like buying a rental car. You never know how the person took care of it. So that would just bother me a little bit. If you want to save money, get an address in Florida. Yeah, get an address in a state with no income tax, state income tax. Tennessee, Alaska, Nevada, right? Who's going to watch the kids and clean? Yeah. Well, presumably if you didn't get married, you don't have kids or anything to clean up. David says stay single. Child support is a pain. I don't know about that. Well, I mean, that's a thing. Stay married is also no child support. She cleans it, I guess. I mean, you could share it. It's not a marriage show, certainly. Whatever works for you, right? We share stuff, so everything works out pretty good here. Whatever works in your life. But the child support thing, right, goes away if you never get divorced. There's also that. For sure. It's cheaper to keep her. Well, it can't ever be a money situation. I mean, that's not a good reason to stay married or not get married. With the Debt Zero England being the $5,000, the sign-on bonus offered to me is $2,500 after 90 and $2,500 at the end. Add the 19th a mile difference, and should I still stay? You're only 4 months. You're only 4 months. I mean, it's so close. Because look, you're going to be a week at orientation somewhere where you're not going to make a full check, right? So you have that, and then it's going to take you a few weeks to get the system down and figure everything out, probably. You'll go some time maybe without insurance, maybe not. You're so close, and it's winter time. Get a house maid, right? You could do that. You could have a maid come in, I guess. But so your 19 cents a mile difference, right? You're still really close. You're still 4 months. It's just 4 months. And think of that 4 months like, oh, I'm paying off thousands of dollars also in this 4 months. I mean, it's annoying. Get on a dedicated run for those 4 months. England has a ton of dedicated runs, and some of them pay more. I've seen people write to me that they're, 46 cents or whatever on a dedicated run. There's maybe some of that available for you for a few months. That would help your check, certainly. I don't know about that, Trooper Rage. Right, well, I'll let that one sit there, for sure, because I'm not, everybody has their own marriage thing. It's worked out for me. You just have to pick somebody that'll tolerate all your quirks or whatever that you're doing, all that weird stuff, right? The boss called again. Is he mad about that high truck payment? I mean, holy mackerel, geeks. Tell him to go lease a cheaper truck. That's super expensive. Think about this. A company that could lease a truck for that kind of money must be getting a good rate. They could go buy a truck for way less than that. They're paying 60 grand a year for that truck. I mean, that is super expensive. Current drivers get a hold of you. You left them 6 months ago. What did you think about your experience in England, and how long were you there? Because new drivers are always looking to, find that out. And here's somebody that was there. Had 3 driving jobs this year. Wow. You have 1 year experience. Yeah, you need to find a place and stay there. And I know people, you're at a bad place and you should leave. And I totally agree with that. But as soon, find a good place and stay. It will help your check over time tremendously. And everybody gets to know you. It works out really good. You know the whole system. I mean, it's really great. So find a good place and then stay. What is a good company, though? It depends what you want to do. Do you want to be gone, or do you want to be home? What kind of life do you want to have? Because you should pick a company now. You got 3 in a year. Let's find a place that you're going to stay so you can have the life that you want. If you want to be gone, find a place to be gone. You have your year. You can go to Bar None and get 60 cents. You want to be home, you can bebop over to like Old Dominion or Estes, one of those places, and, make excellent money and be home every day as well, because you've got your year in. So you don't have to worry about, I'm not having enough time in or whatever. There's not that problem. You're looking at FedEx and Walmart. Yeah. Well, Walmart, as I say, Walmart can get your phone records, which I don't like. You have to agree to it when you start there. And so then they can ask you, and you have to give them your cell phone records. And that's worse than a camera, because the phone record is all your time, even when you didn't work there. So I don't think so. FedEx, only if you're an employee, then yeah, you can make money there as a W-2. But a lot of FedEx people, at least long distance, are work for a contractor. There's FedEx Ground or whatever right here though with the day cabs. That would be a good job too. It would seem like. And I don't know. I don't think Amazon has any employees. Find a place to stay. Yes. Find a good place now that you plan on staying for years. It's great. Yeah, Nussbaum, Rouen. Oh, that's another interesting one. They haul milk right out of here, out of Fair Oaks, an hour north of here. Those guys get $227 a day. I just saw they got a raise, and they work like 10 hours a day, and it's a drop and hook home every day. But Rouen does a lot of stuff around the country. I just know about this because it's up here. Cost you $3,000 to go through to school with England. Fell behind on your bills and been digging out. Yeah, that's a problem. It's sad that you go into trucking and have to fall behind on your bills because the company doesn't pay anything. And what I've thought about this week and what I asked the wife, and I'll ask you people as well, how do I get to people who are not in truck school yet? Because once you're there, you're stuck because of the contract. How do we find people that are considering going to truck school, that are considering which company to go to? How do we reach them? So any suggestions on that would be great because I can reach out to those people and maybe it would make a huge difference in your company and, at your house. So how do we reach those people? Walmart wants your phone records, David. Yes, Walmart, you sign when you start there that if they request it, that you have to give them your cell phone records. That's correct. And some places request it more than others. And we verified this with a driver there because somebody from our company quit there and went to Walmart, quit for us and went there. And yeah, absolutely. They said, yes, you have to give them your records or you're fired when they ask for them. But you agree to that up front. So you can't go somewhere, agree to it, and then gripe about it, right? I'd be like, no way. Get another phone? Yeah, I wouldn't give them my regular number. Go get a Google Voice number and give them that phone number. Think of getting your own authority? You don't know what to do? I don't know. That's not for me. Like I said, I don't want to give up all the benefits of a company driver. Schneider's sponsoring your school. We have to drive for a year. Yeah, that's pretty common. That's pretty common. Why do they want your phone records? They say, in case there's an accident, then they want to see if you were on the phone because they limit your cell phone time to so many minutes. And I don't remember what they said. It seems like it was 60 minutes a day, but there's a limit. So they'll see if you were over the minutes, and if you were in an accident, they could see if you were on the phone at that time. That's why they want your records. But they can also, if they had your records, they could see everybody you called. Like maybe you called HR on somebody in the office. Or maybe you're looking for another job. There's a lot of reasons you may not want to give them your phone records. That's the camera only records you at work. Your phone is your all the whole time. You wanted to break your contract with England, but all the good trucking companies I called told me to finish it. Yeah, I mean, unless you're at 1 month or whatever, stick it out. You're already there. You're in it now. Your feet are all the way in it. For the first 3 months you went through the school and the training, your largest check was $521. Ugh. And he made $2,700. Yeah, what does that tell you about the place? And that's terrible. $500 a week. That's $1,250. $1,260 an hour for 40 hours at a different job. Some FedEx ground contractors pay a $10.99. That's what I'm saying. We don't want a $10.99 with these FedEx ground contractors. You're not an employee then, but actually you are. You're being misclassified. Don't do it. Does bar none train? No, they want a year of experience. Walmart is watching closer, especially since the accident in Jersey. But they're the only company I've ever heard of that wants your cell phone records. That's ridiculous. Do a video title before you go to truck school. Watch this. It doesn't seem to, that is interesting. Before you go to truck school. I wonder how many people search that out though, because they're in and then it seems like, because the companies come in and provide pizza at the truck school and show pictures of all their shiny trucks. And then once the people are in, then I hear from them. Hey, I'm getting 28 cents a mile. I need to get to people in advance of that. before you go to truck school, watch this. That's very good. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I wonder how many people would glom onto that and then be able to, we could get to them and switch them off from these companies. It's because truckers are watching different things. We'll say, well, they're driving, they're texting. Yes, that's correct. You understand why they're doing truck cameras. Yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but it should only face out. I'm still not a fan of it. I'm still not a fan of them facing the driver. I don't like it. And then getting your cell phone records, that's crazy. You just got your CDL through Swift. You got a 2-year payback there at Swift, so enjoy. How's it going there? How much are you making right now at Swift? Truck School of the Week. I've been asked about Truck School of the Week, but I just have no way to be able to vet out their, how each program would work there in any kind of timely fashion. And there are a lot of truck schools, as many as trucking companies. I don't think that I could do it. There should be a list somewhere where you could post some kind of review, but I don't know how it would be done. I've thought about it, and I don't think I can do it. You can make money at Walmart? You can, if you don't mind giving them your cell phone records. They pay pretty good. Not what it used to pay, and they slip seat. So you may slip seat your sleeper truck as well. Maybe. Which I would never slip seat a sleeper. No way. Unless I was on 3 days and all, the 3-4-4-3 thing at Dot Foods, that kind of thing, that's one thing where the truck is sitting. But if you're out a regular week, I wouldn't slip seat it. I'm not doing it. How much a truck on a search? Oh, maybe people would search for how much do truck drivers make, and then I could get them on that one. You made $600 a week during your 200-hour mentorship. I love it. It's cheaper to get a personal loan for CDL school than go to a mega carrier. It could be because you get to control your life. Anytime you run the control, it's going to be better for you. Always. They could have someone familiar with it electronic control the location and movement of the cell phone. Yikes. Without being able to know how it's being used. Holy mackerel. They would never. That's super complicated. When you looked into FedEx ground contractor, Edgar, it was $10.99. The bottom of the application said you are not working for FedEx. Right, because you work for the contractor. But, right, you're $10.99, so you don't work for them, right? You're independent. Or are you? Are they saying you work for them? Well, that's an employee, aren't you? It's a total scam. And FedEx is in on it because they hire these contractors knowing that they're 2 steps removed then from the driver and they don't have to pay him all the benefits. Everybody's scamming on it, for sure. Slip seat a sleeper? Yes, I totally agree. But here's the thing at Dot Foods. This is why I don't mind it there as much. They have this 4 on 3 off, 3 on 4 off. I understand trucks are super expensive. They cannot let the truck sit for that many days. Plus the 4 on 4 off. They just can't let the truck sit a half a year. So slip seating that is a trade-off for the less time. But if you're full time, where you're gone the whole week, you got to keep your own truck. But longer than that, I understand them doing it. You don't want to do it otherwise. Or bring your own mattress and disinfectant and black light. You're planning to start in January. Oh, nice. So there's somebody who hasn't started yet. Good. Looking at different options. Paying for school or company. Company paid programs have great practical training. Pay for the school yourself. Go pay for it. If you have the money, which you seem to have, pay for it yourself and look into your state's Department of Unemployment. You may be able go ahead and have the state pay for it. But if nothing else, pay it yourself if you have the money. You'll make a decision before Christmas. Thank you, a resource. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate it. You can always write to me, mark@truckinganswersnation.com. I answer in a couple days. You're not slip seating with someone that doesn't hygiene. That's the problem of 4 and 4. I mean, we have to give the company some leeway on, we can't sit a truck 50% of the year, $160,000 piece of equipment for half the year so that we can sleep. It's just a trade-off, and for that kind of thing, I totally understand it. Geeks is totally right. Pay for it yourself or have the state pay it. Don't let a truck school pay for it because When you go to the company, then you're stuck there for all this time. FedEx likes contracts because they save money for benefits. Yeah, exactly, Edgar. Right, they don't have to pay you any of your benefits. You're just independent, right? But then try not working on Tuesday. Oh, well, they'd say, well, no, you have to come in. I go, well, I'm independent. I get to set my own schedule. That's what the IRS says. See how that goes over. See how long you work there. Now you're fired. That's what would happen. You can't fire me. I'm independent. You know, a ton of students that went through England and have been looking to videos with England in the title. So possibly a thing called Don't Trust England. I have an England video out, okay, with CR England in the title. You had to go with Swift for financial reasons. I understand that. Sometimes, if you don't have any choice, you don't have any choice. You've got 4 kids, so you couldn't pay for it. All right. You have a waiting period at the DMV for your test. You need to do the work yesterday. All right. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. I don't really recommend Swift of all places because of the long payback time. It's a 2-year payback time. But you're already there. We already signed it. You're in. So enjoy it. Try to get out. It seems to pay the best at Swift. And make. Well, it's coming having a school contract of just 6 months. Really? I haven't heard that. I've heard many people write to me and stuff and say they're a hound. You know, and this is various companies. They're suing me. CRST seems to like to sue people too. I've gotten a ton of emails about that. Oh, thanks, White Knight. Good. I'm glad you're here today. Thank you for coming in. When are we voting for Crab Company of the Year? Yeah, I think that'll be in a week or two. Probably 2 weeks. I think we'll put voting up through the end of the year. I think that's how that will go because I don't know if many people will be on Christmas. So for that one. So let's say within a couple weeks and we'll vote for that. And that should be a blast for sure. If you work in food service, you always have slip seating. Yeah, if you're home more often. All food service delivery companies do that. Dot Foods doesn't slip seat you, they said, as long as you're out, you know, a full week. England won't let you out of the contract. They hate their turnover rate, so they try to bully you into staying. Oh, yeah, they'll threaten you that your CDL will revoke your license and will take your firstborn male child and everything. I've heard of people, I had to put sheep's blood around the door. True story. You're starting a trucking company called Funky Butt Trans. All right. I'm in for that. I got my bell bottoms back there, so I'm in. You currently drive for Swift. All right, right. They pay $500 a week while you're doing your 200 driving hours with a mentor. Right. I'm saying the truck school is a 2-year payback at Swift. It takes 2 years before it's completely paid off, and I think that's too long. But if you're there, you're there. That's why I'm asking, how do we get to people before they're there? It's a 2-year payback once you're done, but I will have enough of an understanding of the industry. You will. And, you know, if you're willing to do that, people write to me from Swift all the time that are on dedicated runs that like it. It pays better. They have better home time. So I'd recommend getting into that as soon as you can. That's really from all mega carriers. People get on a dedicated run and seem to do very well. CRST does like to sue people, yes. They also like to go sightseeing in the boardwalk. I have gotten people write to me and said, yes, CRST is suing me. They want their money. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe they sue drivers. But yeah, apparently they have a whole like legal team or whatever, like the West Wing or whatever, one of those legal shows. And LA Law, right? That's a current show. And they just go and sue people. You got your company name ready to be an owner-operator in April? Well, good luck to you. We'll be seeing how that goes. Understand them. Hopefully that's the most fuel-efficient choice available. Because that's the biggest cost, right? You're on 85 north of Charlotte. I'm going to go towards Atlanta, Kim. All right. You just call Customs and Border Patrol truck. Yeah, and you're not in Texas. Look. That's funny, you know. I've seen that too. I'm nowhere near the border, and I'm like, why is there a customs truck in Kentucky or whatever? What is going on? Or a border patrol? You know, this is not the border. No wonder people are coming over the border. All the border patrols in Kentucky or Atlanta. Oh, new people would search CDL license for free. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. Put that in the title. I don't like to use a misleading title though. But that's good. How to get your CDL license for free. The video would have to be about, around that. I don't want to get some kind of reputation of saying, oh, he just puts that there for clickbait or whatever. I don't want to do that. The title, I like to have my titles reflect what the video talks about so that, everybody think, oh yeah, that's exactly what he's going to talk about in that video. So that's good though. That is very good. Get your CDL license for free. Yes. You're on a Swift dedicated. Oh, okay, you're already on it. The pay is low, but you're right out of the gate. It'll do better there, and I think you're going to be okay there with that. Judge Judy works for CRST? I don't know about that. Where'd you hear that? Geeks Logistics is going to be the name of the company? Yeah, just finish the 4 month. You're so close. I mean, it's Christmas is coming. You're so close. When you quit Swift, they didn't sue you. They only ask you to pay them back. Yeah, they can ask all they want. Until they sue you, you don't have to do anything. States will pay this. People don't realize. Even if you're willing to pay for it yourself, check the state first, the Department of Unemployment. They may pay your truck school for you. You don't have to pay it at all. You'll work anywhere you want. You won't be beholden to some company. And that makes a huge difference in your life. You could not win. If they sued you, you would lose. What do I think of Schneider and JB Hunt? They're not on the crap company. And I thought, there's so many other companies that people don't know about. These larger companies are just kind of known in the industry. I haven't really looked into Schneider, but JB Hunt in Indianapolis at least, they had an ad this weekend, $70,000 home every day in a day cab for JB Hunt with full benefits of a large company. I don't think that's terrible. Read the contract and have enough money to get home. Every driver, every person should have access to a couple $100 at all times in case you need to get back home. Because sometimes they'll bring you there and then they fire you or don't hire you, as they say, in the first couple days. And they don't send you back to your house. How they trick you when they say the CDL license is free. Yeah, that's good too. Something like that, but just the video would have to reflect something about the title. Because I don't want to get into the category of clickbaiter or something like that. I'm just trying to get to people that before they get into truck school so they don't sign up with the wrong place. And I don't know how to get to those people. People only look for solutions once they have a problem. I've asked a few truck schools near to let me speak there, and they're like, no, thank you. I think the truck schools pay them, though. Would it be possible to find a state program that would pay the debt to England for me? I don't know about that. I don't think they pay it back that way. I do think if you got hired somewhere else, they do have CDL repayment programs, which you'd have to talk to them in advance. Onions paid for your CDL and looking for a company to get experience. Who's an onion? Down in Oklahoma City, it's 34 degrees. It's cold there. It's only 36 here, right? Sunlit but nice, but snow is coming. No snow is coming here. We're supposed to clear the rest of the day. I'm looking out. I got a window here. Yeah, you've heard JB Hunt is not a bad company. They're running pretty good ads for pay. Is there a city called Celadonville? It would be a ghetto, or all the houses would be boarded up because everybody would be moving out of it before the big crash. It'd be like, the 1929 in that city. You chose Swift because they have a terminal close to where you live. That's a good reason, right? In case you ran into a problem getting back home. Look, I think that's not bad. I think they're going to be fine. Schneider trained your wife and did a great job. That's good. That's very good. You think drivers should get paid for all their time? And then Prince, apparently that's Prince from the Beyond. Owner operator is not the risk, the reward. Without risk, there wouldn't be a reward. I still don't think the reward of an owner operator, that's just my opinion, is that much greater than a good company driver that's been somewhere. I don't think so. at the end of the year, if we compared everything, which would include all benefits and all paid holidays and everything else, I think they'd have a tough time beating a good company driver. And there's no risk as a company driver. When I go in today, if the truck doesn't start, I just call them and they'll just bring me another one or send a mechanic over something. Because we don't park at the trucks, they're not all parked there, and I don't park over where the mechanics are. Ohio means paid for CDL. Okay, yeah, Ohio. I have heard that Ohio does pay for that kind of stuff. Oh, you're going to get ready for work? Keep it between the ditches. You as well. Thanks for coming in today. We're here every Monday. What do I think about the suit in Jersey? The courts ruled that CDL drivers have to be paid minimum wage. Well, they had one in Arkansas, if that's what we're talking about. There could be another one that I don't know about. But I think that that's still not going to solve a lot of problem. Because say you drive 40 hours, that's $290. So that isn't great. So $290 a week is still not the answer to anything. You moved to Indiana, found the pay really low. Had to get back. Could have gone in Indianapolis. UPS is advertising $30. You can't live on that kind of money, for 60 hours. Not bad. Rail, right? Rail pays for you in truck school, which I think is. It was a group of drivers suing for their detention pay they never got. Okay, but it's still minimum. I don't know what the minimum in Jersey. It may be higher, but look, $7.25 an hour is not something you want to really fight for. It's better than zero. Certainly, is trying to push the minimum wage exemption to be overturned, but that isn't going to be the great solution. So you wait 2 hours, you get $14.50. That's still not great. You should get paid a regular wage for that. You sent me an email about England. Okay, thank you. I'll check it out. There are more. Sierra England now guarantees $500. Oh, so it came up? No, congratulations, I would tell England. Like a good company of the month, give some starting drivers. I do a company doing it better most weeks as well. Some of them don't take students. I will say that. That might not be a bad thing. New driver, good company, where I can get to the people before they go to truck school as well. I'm trying to get people, kind of head them up at the pass as the thing goes, at 28 cents a mile or whatever like that initially, and get them before they sign a contract. So I could push them off to, or at least have them think about companies that pay way better. I mean, just a 10-cent raise your first year could be $10,000 in your pocket. Over 100,000 miles, that's huge. But if people don't know, they don't know, and I have to be able to get to them before they sign a contract with someplace. Let's see, I live in Dallas and pay for truckers is below 45 cents. It depends, but that's low, and Texas is a lower state. Minimum wage might be better determined differently for an over-the-road driver. The government is not going to probably set a different minimum wage like that for truck drivers. I mean, it's currently nothing. So, if anything, it will go to $7.25. They also gave a raise in England across the board because of turnover. Congratulations, tell them. Hey, how about they feed people at school, too? The first ones that pop up on Google, nice. That's great. Would you like to hear my opinion of national carriers? I don't know anything about national carriers. We vote for me for president. I appreciate that. I don't know. That's a job. If nominated, I would not run, and if elected, I will not serve. You work for 19 cents home every other night. Well, considering your name, hopefully that's another country. Prince. They put that in place right when I finished training. You believe phase 2 guarantees 6 or 650. That's better. They're coming up since I did my video about them. That's better. But then here we had this other driver saying 28 cents. Or you, right? Okay, right. Exactly. That is Prince right there. So $6.50 a week is better, at least. At least they have to. They're not even close to, what they should be. 28 cents today is crazy. I got a quarter in 89. Okay, to give 28 cents today is just crazy. And I need to get to people before they sign up for that because it's just ridiculous. I'd like to know what country that is that pays 19 cents. That actually may be good money, depending where you are, I guess. If not here, it would be basically poverty level wages. I don't even think England could get people to come in for 19 cents, but they're getting people under 30 cents apparently, which is terrible. It's not going to work for less than 45. Remember, we got to look at the whole week, though. So, like Dot, what do you get? What is your week's average then? So that's the way to because if you have hundreds of dollars of extra money, it doesn't necessarily matter what the mileage pay is per se. If you're still getting your $1,500, maybe you only ran 1,500 miles, still worth it. Start a list of companies that start at 60 cents a mile for students. That'd be a short list. That'd be a very short list. I don't know if anybody would be on it. Nobody that I know that I can think of right now would get on that list at all. Maybe Old Dominion or a place like that. Otherwise, I don't think any road company starts any students at 60 cents. National Carriers was bought by Prime. Is that the case? Prime, I thought they bought, they're like Wilson Logistics. National Carriers too? Wow. Well, that's not going to be great for National Carriers. You'd be a good start. Google good places to work and pops up my video. Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. There aren't many honest reviews of good places to start for students. All right, I get it. After you're out of school and training, they don't guarantee anything, right? They pay 24 cents a mile split between you and your team. So 48 cents for team. That's relatively low. I would say that's not the lowest I've seen, but who's your team member though? That's another student, right? That's that period where you and another trainee go together, which I'm totally opposed. Totally opposed. Like 100%. How do two students go together? That should never happen at any company. You can't teach each other if you both don't know what you're doing. Do a list of companies I would recommend for students. Yeah, that's not a bad idea too. I always say, the big ones that I say, like Rail, I would call Millis, Maverick, I would call those people, Crete, and Newspawn. I think they'll take students. That I really like them at $250 a day guarantee. Because I'm really a big fan of the pay guarantee, so that you don't have to worry a day you sit somewhere. Oh, my detention doesn't start for 3 days. It doesn't matter. $250 a day guarantee is $250 a day guarantee. First seat, they pay 28 cents split. Oh, nice. After you go solo, they give you raises as they see fit. Nice. You and not you. You haven't had a raise since you got your truck and you've been at 28 for 7 months. So you are teaming with somebody and basically splitting 48 cents. No, 56 cents a month. Public school. Only company that would pay that well for a student is Prime. They pay 43 for students. That's not the best. Maverick pays more than that. But I don't know about anybody paying more. 24 cents split. You get 12 cents right for all miles. Correct. Right. You're getting 24 cents. Oh, no way. You're not splitting 28 cents. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I know, diesel trucker. I have a bad connection today. I see it's been stopping and I apologize. You're splitting 28 cents? No way. Yeah, doesn't Newspawn, won't they take you as a student? They have a training program at Newspawn. I have a video about it, right? I do a lot of companies, I don't remember what they said, but I believe they take a student. I have to go watch my own video. Mark, watch your own videos. I'm looking at oil field companies. They're so specific. Oil field is such a specific thing. It's hard to, get a grip on what it should pay because it's one little spot. That's why I haven't looked into them. Even Decker starts at 40 cents a reefer and 45 on flatbed. Are you seriously going to tell me you're splitting 28 cents? You're not going anywhere to get past the permit questionnaire with a perfect score? Well, that doesn't matter as long as you pass, right? And it mastered the American Truck Simulator. Oh, fancy. That should help if you team with another rookie. You should never have to team with a rookie. 48 cents in 51 in the Northeast. I don't like a split pay. You still do the same job. You should get the same pay. Oh my gosh, I totally agree. Geeks Trucking, I can't believe it. That we're really splitting 28 cents. There's no way. I mean, there's no way that people are splitting 28 cents today. If that is true, I mean, that's crazy. The pauses make me sound like Max Headroom. Well, that could be good or bad. I mean, I know I don't. I have the thing right here. Okay, it's a foot away from me. I was bringing the router right next to me, so I do apologize for the bad connection. I apologize. What about Landstar? You know, I saw the Landstar load board a couple of years ago at the Mid America Truck Show, which you should go get tickets to, by the way. Google up the Mid America Truck Show. Tickets are available now. They're free. If you're even thinking about going at the end of March, have them send you tickets, and I'll see you there. I'll be live down there probably Friday, Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. But anyway, they had a live load board. I don't know if they'll have it this year, but they had the load board, and they let you search through load, see what it paid, and everything. So I think it's a great idea. I think you got to choose your load, pay, whatever, right there. I like it. Thoughts on load brokers? I don't know. I'm a company driver, so too much of a thought on it. I don't want to put out a thought about the load broker, but I don't know that much about it. There are owner operators that do talk about that stuff, but I don't deal with them or anything, and so I don't know what to say about them really. You split 24 as a second seat. That's crazy. Till you have 120 hours, you become a first seat, then you go to 28. Oh, and that gets split. So you get 16 cents. I just can't believe it. After 120 more hours, you go solo. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Oh, once you go solo, you get to keep the 28 cents for yourself. Oh, well, that's nice of them. Oh, Edgar thought it was your Wi-Fi. No, apparently it's me today. I keep freezing here, and if I reset it or whatever, the whole feed goes away. So that's all I can do with it today. I do not have any stories like that, Prince. Your company gives loads to Landstar when your company doesn't want them. Okay. I guess it would be too low of pay maybe, and then it goes on the Landstar load board. You would not team for less than 65? Yeah, it needs to be more than 28 cents. But see, that's the problem. I can't really fault this person because you're new, you don't know the difference. So I can't really say, oh, you're bad or you didn't know. People just don't know. And then they're already in it. But I'm going to tell you that's really low. I'm really surprised. I'm even surprised that even they're that low. But that's too bad that it's super low. No wonder they're buying Western Stars over there. They don't pay the drivers anything. What about Pam? I was going to look into Pam. People have recommended Pam for Crap Company this week, and so I'm getting ready to call them up and see what they're offering over there at Pam. I'm sure it's going to be delightful. I will say it's probably more than 28 cents. I would hope. And I'm not saying that isn't true. And if 28 cents is the case, that's the lowest pay I've ever seen since I've been looking into companies. And I did get a quarter in 89. So if that tells you how low that check is. You'll see subs. Yeah, I mean, look, I do agree to see it, but I'm not saying you're lying about it, okay? Who would lie about a low? DUR speeding tickets? I don't know. Not England. Western Express. If you have a bad record, the company to go is Western Express. Hard to believe we recommend them, but they will take people with DUIs that are like 3 years old or 4 years old or something, and they have felonies and stuff, and that's, unfortunately, that's the place to be. Pam was sued for not paying detention to drivers a few weeks back. Yes, Arkansas. I did a video about that. It was only for Arkansas only, and they're appealing it because they don't want to pay people detention, of course, because they would have to pay their drivers. You had no idea until you were in it, right, until you'd been there for 3 months. That's right, and that's why I'm trying to figure out a way to, because I want to change the whole industry and get people the pay that they deserve. But to do that, I have to get people like you before you get into a place. And so that's why I'm trying to get to people before they go to truck school, before they get in, sign a contract with somebody at least. And that's the next goal, to get those people to just at least think about all this detention and mileage pay. Nobody thinks anything about it because they just show pictures of their Western Star and drivers in front of Bentleys and women in bikinis, but that's not really how it really is. B trucking in San Antonio used 27 cents when you started 6 years ago. That's crazy. That's still crazy. I just can't believe it. Pam is crap. I didn't do them as a crap company, but they're crap about their detention. People should do research, but people don't know what to look for if they're not in the industry. Do people know what layover pay is if they're not in the trucking industry? Probably not. People realize, know how much everything is, so I can't fault people for that. Some people, they need the money. They have to go get a job, and they're being trained. So I need to get to those people and inform them. They don't know what to look for or what not to look for because they don't know what to look for. So I need to get to them and inform them. Should have done more research, but wish you found out. But you're there now, right? You're in it now. Huh. It's not fair not to get detention. I agree. In the contract, or was it illegal for Pam not to pay, even if it wasn't in the contract? Well, they don't have a contract with company drivers per se. The court said no, you have to pay people for their time. But Pam is going to appeal that because we are exempt under the Fair Labor Standards Act. A state court in Arkansas said that they would have to pay. It hasn't come down to pay yet. They're going to appeal it. And currently they'll win because they'll appeal it to federal, and federal says you don't have to pay drivers anything. You heard Jim Palmer and Wilson Logistics is a good company. You didn't hear that from me. I have a video about them. Go back and check out my Jim Palmer video. They're one of the worst places ever. Oh, you research because of me? Well, I thank you for that. See, I was able to get to you before you got into trucking, but a lot of people don't do any research until they're signed up for something and then realizing that they're getting hosed. In Dallas, Pam has low pay. Well, that's probably nationwide then. You said for 21 days to get your trainer, only getting $25 a day. Oh, and nothing till I got in your truck. Even then, it was another week. See, and then, there's a big shortage of drivers. We can't get any drivers. Yeah, duh. Because somebody like this goes and tells their friends they're never going to come and drive a truck. You get a minimum per day that you're out. Yes, that's the way to do it. I love a guarantee. Even if it's $200 a day, guaranteed $250, like Nussbaum's $250, that's example I always use. And you say, well, that's not that much money. Well, it is if you're not doing anything, and you're going to get that, where other places that I've showed, you might sit for 2 days before they pay you $50. So a guarantee is always great. What to watch for about truck driver training? That's very good too, or trucking school. Yes, I think people might Google that up. Oh, you're getting loaded. Nice. So you're able to come in. Thank you. Thanks for being here. It's okay. So your guarantee is $200, right? So you don't have to worry that if you sit, you're not going to get at least something. So that's $1,400 a week, $70,000 for 7 days. When you were a new driver, you did that mistake at Swift. You did not know what you're getting into exactly. You had no idea until another truck driver said, "Hey, you're getting hosed." Right, but then you're in. You got a 2-year contract. Now what? So we need to get to you before you get to Swift. Your guarantee includes a 34-hour restart. That's even better. Most places don't do it that way. Your father-in-law worked for had a broker out of Florida he worked with. He genuinely enjoyed having the help. I know some Landstar drivers, then they'll be, kind of get all friendly with certain brokers, and then they kind of figure out their own dedicated low Landstar. Because you work with the same brokers over and over. So that's pretty interesting. Did he like it there at Landstar? Is free CDL training really free? Oh, that's good too. Oh, right. That's very good. All right. What are the costs of free CDL training? Oh. Still being loaded in San Antonio. We'll get $0 for this. For undecided content. Why are we not being paid? Why are we not getting paid for this? See, that's what needs to change. You need to get paid. Why is your boss or company not And if you're an owner operator, well, there's nothing I could do for you then. Out of the 100 people you went through England school, 2 besides you are still here. Yes. That's very common. And then they say, well, there's a shortage. We can't get anybody. No, you had 100 people. Where are they? Where are they? There's tons of drivers everywhere. The last doing a company better dot. You applied. 2 to 3 weeks to check you out. Wow. They did say it was a long interview process. They say they do it to make sure that people show up and can't work. Well, I think there's a lot of unloadings if you want to do that. There was a big physical agility test. Talk about experienced driver training pay. How much? So for the trainer should get excellent pay. We need to get to you before we get to Swift. Yeah, I did like that, right? That was kind of catchy. It's kind of catchy. So quit Swift and went with owner operator getting paid $10.99. You made great money, but the IRS got you at the end of the year. That's correct. That people think $10.99 is great. If you don't put aside your taxes and file a quarterly report, you might end up owing the government a lot of money. We love Landstar. Burker became the extended family. Well, that's super close. Huh. What's going on, Truckers Coach? Thanks for showing up today. Appreciate you being here, sir. Very long interview process there. Yeah, they did talk. They said it was going to be a long time at DOT there. Multiple calls at DOT before you take you in. Just like the weird. I know. Okay. So the trainer for a couple of weeks at least, even if you were an experienced driver. And I thought that was crazy. That's how it works. With them. So worth it, I guess, because you're getting a good job. It's just something you have to go through. Kind of like at initiation at college. I assume there'll be a wet towel snapping thing where you have to run through a line of people and stuff like that. So they probably do all that stuff. Not sure about the wet towel, maybe. Possible, though. The only negative thing you found so far, I think it is a negative. I think it eliminates some people from them just because of that. I really do. England's whole thing is go be a trainer. Yes, that's what they want you to do. They have you out for 6 weeks. Oh, then 4 days off, back out for 6 weeks. They're a new driver factory. Yeah, all they do is churn through people, spit them out. As you see, nobody stays except the trainers that get new people and they all just quit. I don't know how you run a company like that. How do you go to sleep and say, oh, this is a great company? Good jobs are worth the wait. That's true. Oh, thank you, AJ, for being a new subscriber. I appreciate it. Have I done any content about JB? I have not, but I've talked about them. They run ads in Indianapolis for 70 grand home daily. So I don't think they're they have a negative view in the industry, but I think they're growing out of it. They'll put you with a non-smoker. Well, good. I mean, that's the least thing they can do. And it should be non-negotiable. Nobody should be smoking in the truck. Let's put it that way. Been driving. Let's stop. Everybody should stop smoking. That's what I'm saying. Been driving for a handful of years, 3.5. That's a year. If you get the first year, you got it, mate. But you're happy with the company you drive for. Previous with a crap company. People, I've said, it can be a crap company, but if you can make it work there, then make it work. I say this. If there's time they're not paying you for, though, that isn't great. You should get paid for all of your time, no matter where you work. A crap company or a great company. Let's get paid for our time. Don't try to add 3 hours to the day so that we can work 17 hours. Try to add more pay to the time you're already working. You learned your lesson and work for W-2 now. That's much better, isn't it? Right? You wish you knew this before, but you had no experience. And that's the thing. You don't know that it's going to be bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. But you didn't know that. But now you learned a good lesson. And the IRS is one that will teach a lesson. Because you cannot bankrupt out of an IRS debt. So you can go bankrupt all you want. You still owe them money. So always think about that if you're doing some kind of weird IRS thing. Okay? They are not bankruptable in most cases. Trainer's the only way to go. Yeah, in England, it's the only way you're going to stay there. You get a guarantee of a daily pay Monday through Friday. $200, but if you work Saturday, which is volunteer, you get paid hourly, $18.26, which is less than the guarantee, which is crap. I agree. I'd say, why don't I get the guarantee on Saturday? Well, why do they pay me less to come in on an extra day? How about they should give you $250 on Saturday? Any place else, it would be time and a half on Saturday. At least you're getting a guarantee. So let's put it on that side of it, though. Many people out here sit and don't get anything at all, and that is garbage. Say something motivating for us. Hey, we're all truck drivers. That should be motivation enough. How about that? It is motivation enough just to get in the truck every day and think, man, this is going to be a great day. And remember, everybody woke up today that's on the stream, presumably. If you're still there, your phone may be running in front of a dead body. But otherwise, right, that's pretty good. So, once you start the day that way, the rest of the day hopefully goes pretty good. That's how I try to think of each day, that I get up, that at least I got up that day. So that's at least how I do, part of the day anyway. Thanks, Walt Bill. Yes, exactly. I mean, we got up today, so everything else is downhill. When you were at CST, the only reason to stay with lead driver training, that's all these companies. These huge carriers that bring students in, all they want is to roll you through and make you a trainer so that you can roll more people through. And if you don't, they basically spit you out. I can't believe England is 28 split. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, I'm going to call them back that say that is ridiculous. That you'd split 20. And when I said that, I didn't realize it was a split, I guess. When I did a video about them. Maybe I didn't even think about it because it was so much lower. I thought it was for all miles. Driving motivates a driver. If you love driving, I mean, you should get a job that you love because how much greater then is your day? You don't want to. My stepfather worked every day at the steel mills up in Gary, and he hated it every single day of his life. Came home, talked about it, hated it, died in his early 60s. Partly from that, I assume. Hated it. Don't ever do stuff every day that you hate. Who wants to go to a job every day that they hate in hopes that 40 years later they get a watch and maybe a little bit of money to retire on? That isn't any good. You should get out of that company. Well, the IRS charged you 30% on 60. Oh, so you made monthly payments and their interest rates are high. Yes, but you really have no choice, right? You have no choice with the IRS. They'll just take the money if you don't agree to give it to them. So you basically have to pay them. You have that's 18 grand plus interest. That's pretty good. Public school, that's pretty fast. I did. Monica, thanks for coming in. That's all right. 2 demerits for late, but that's all right. You can always watch the replay. You worked Stevens for your 6 months. Couldn't get out of there fast enough. You probably know more about it than me. Like I was saying, they wouldn't talk to me. JB Hunt, you're passing on them completely. Why is that? The pay seems so low. Oh, working on call. Maybe where you are, they're on call. You want to stay refrigerated. It is recession proof. People got to eat. And you can always put toilet paper in a reefer. Motivation causes movement. You're moving because you're in motion. Oh, nice. That's something that I'd see like on an Instagram post or something like that. Oh, people can go see me on Instagram, Trucking Answers. How about that? I got to plug it. It's to the point you're tempted to go to Decker. At least I know how dirty they will do to me. There's lots of companies to call, right? You don't have to just call one place. Call a ton of places and have a chart and see what they all offer you. Feel free, and you can tell you everything. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I think that would be interesting to see. I'm just amazed at this 28-cent thing. I mean, I just can't believe it. I thought it was the same pay. So they put up $600, and then basically you make less because of 28 cents times 2,000 miles is $560. What the heck good is that? You get out of training and take a pay cut? You should be getting more money. They should be happy anybody walks in the door. It's only because the pizza, and I say that, a number of people have written to me from truck school, oh, England was just here giving us pizza, or May was here giving us pizza, so that's great. So that's the only way they do it. They ply you with pizza, they put you into a pepperoni coma, and then you sign a contract. You have no choice. You didn't know what you were signing. I don't even think that would stand up in court. You had no idea. It was a grease bomb. How were you supposed to know? That's how they get you right there in the truck school. for sure. The spices get to you, the smell. Oh, they open a beautiful box. Oh, it's just like Ferris Bueller's Day Off every day in there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it that these places do that. How are they allowed to stay in business doing that? They're, if they didn't have 100 people come in every week, they would close. They have to go to the truck school, and they probably do a test. Oh, does anybody hear of us? No. Oh, good. Then we'll come over there. Stevens is bad company because they wouldn't talk to me. They're probably crap otherwise too. But if you won't answer my questions, that's garbage. If I call a recruiter and they go, "We're not answering questions," that's enough for me. Well, I guess I'm out of here then. It's crap pizza's not flown in from New York. No, that would be the crap pizza, of course. Chicago would be the most delicious kind, of course. Anybody to Rainier Steel in the Twin Cities? Not. Has anybody been up there? I haven't done flatbed in a while. A number of years ago, I did a curtain side trailer, but didn't go to the steel mills. I had which is a van where the sides slide open. So it's a flatbed and a van all at once. Because I would take steel bars and stuff out and deliver them, and then the same place would pick up. I would pick up the finished product and bring it back. So I'd close up, become a van, and bingo. I'd unload outside, become a van, back in the dock, get loaded, and come back. Pretty good way to do it. And it's like having a flat and a van, if no one has ever seen one anyway. It's a curtain side trailer. I thought it was interesting. Grease bomb intoxicate you into selling your soul. Yeah, once you sign, you're finished. You're finished. And so I got to get to people before they sign up. I forgot to cut the 28 cents in half. I know. I didn't even think anything about it. 14 cents times 3,000, 420 a week after training. That's ridiculous. Deep dish is way too much. Oh, they may not be able to afford Giordano's or something like that. I agree. Or Gino's East. They probably couldn't. They don't want to spend that kind of money. They know half the people are going to fire anyways. Huh. There are stealing, right? Delete the England video and redo. Well, oh, right. No, well, I would put an update to it. I would link the two together. I can do that. And update it. That is a very good idea. Right. An England update video. I'll have to look and see what I exactly said in that one. They may be worth an update. And I can link back to the original one so people can see them both. Stevens is stealing the trucker one. So, well, truckers sold one at a time. If anybody goes there and they don't give you any information about the place, I don't know what to say. Or never apply to a place that goes, "We're not telling, here's our application." I'm like, "No, I don't think so." Would you buy anything at a store that didn't have a price on it? Where they go, "We'll just charge you later for this." Nobody would do that. You hire somebody to fix your car. And so then you go, "How much is it?" "Well, we'll just charge you. Don't worry about it." That would never happen. So to do it at a job that has got to support your family, no way. You heard the mega carriers pay cheap because the insurance is high. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Most of the mega carriers are self-insured anyway for the first million or few $1,000,000. They self-insure themselves. So because most accidents are under that amount. So that cannot be it. These gigantic companies post a bond with the government and they're self-insured. Oh, every new guy lasts about 90 days. That's very good. Most people don't do an England meme like that. Or a gnome, right? That's barely about poverty. 420 is nothing. Yeah, 420. That'll probably get me in trouble with somebody. Yes, I should do a CR England part 2 talking to the victim. Oh, victim, that's very good. Was told that day one, "We are a training company. We know you're going to leave us within 2 years." What the heck? What kind of company says that? Well, the company should be, "We want you to stay here your whole life." Oh, we know you're leaving, so we're not going to invest anything in you. I mean, that's crazy. Stevens runs the Black Kenworth, yes. They can run 80. I don't think the trucks are running any 80 miles an hour. T is not doing great either. Mega carriers pay low because they do take cheaper freight. That it pushes the industry price down. Agree. But nobody should work there. Matt, hey, what's going on in Temple, Georgia? I bet it's warmer there than it is here. Stevens is governed at 62 company and 65 lease. That sounds more like it. So the lease drivers, They give you 65. Well, you're not really independent if they control the truck, are you? How about a spotlight on hazmat carriers? Hearing an ad on the space radio for clean harbors. I did a Trimac ad before, and there'll be one for another hazmat carrier coming up very shortly. 63 and sunny, yeah, 36 and clouds here today. Just got my 1 year experience. Oh, good. And run to a smaller company. I'm still a fan of a larger place because of the benefits. So I'm still a fan for that. What's better, Pam, Stevens, or Dart? Well, Stevens I'm no good on. I don't know really anything about Pam, so I'm not sure, or Dart. But Stevens is out. So we at least eliminated one. Or I did anyway. You work for England, and your year is up. Your 42-cent split contract up 12/2018. That's going to be the Christmas present to you. So 42 cents. So you're getting 21 cents is what you're saying. Get all your endorsements. I totally agree. I always tell people to get their endorsements. Free puppies are being given away somewhere apparently. Automatics are dangerous. I've been driving one for years. No problems. How are they dangerous? I'm curious. How do you think they're dangerous? The Stevens truck northbound out of Joplin ran 75. He could have been to the diesel doctor, or it's just not set. There's no Stevens running 80 miles an hour. Of the three, Dart would be better. That's what I was going to say, but I don't know that 100%. You have only your X. Get the other ones. Study, take the test when you get home, or you're around your house, and get them. You have puppies. Oh, and your dad drives for FedEx? They don't take orders? Nice. Automatics rock downhill now in snow. We'll see what happens. Oh, I don't know. If you could put it in manual, right, that is the recommendation in snow. Put it in manual mode, shift it yourself so it doesn't shift at the wrong time. An automatic would be no different than a manual because you're still shifting it yourself. So I've run mine for years in the winter, no problems. The automatic truck's back better in reverse too. It depends. Our trucks have creep mode, so you can creep back and reverse one, and it backs up super smooth. Depends on the automatic. We're running an Eaton 12-speed in ours. What do I think about fuel networks with paid parking and no showers? With 1,000 fuel purchase, I've never seen a paid parking that doesn't have a shower. I would only park where there's showers, because I personally want to get a shower 5 days plus per week. 7 if it's possible. Kim is 2 hours from the Flying J in Kearneyville, Georgia. That's where you're going to stop for the night. And then at 11 tomorrow, you'll be on your way for Werner. All right. Well, let us know how it goes at Werner. I think you'll be one of the first people from Werner on here. That'll be really great. No desire to run doubles. You never know in the future what you're going to use it for. And that's what I thought, but I did get them when I got my license. And then here in Indiana, they just stay on your license. So, and I pulled doubles. So I've had the opportunity to do doubles and Rocky Mountain doubles. So I thought, and I wouldn't have had that had I not had that on there. So I thought that was really good, and it gave me a different experience. They accelerate too slow, I'll give you that. The automatics are not good at picking up when you hit a green light from red to green and step on it. Ours have a problem with that. But the backing, there's no problem with that. Been an owner-operator for 5 years. Bought a low-cost truck, $25,000, and paid it off, right. Cost you 75 cents to operate. That's different. So anything over is yours. That's the only way, right, to make money. And so you may be a good company driver. It's still probably close, I think. Automatics give you more time to concentrate on the road. That's a good thing. Can tankers drive at night? Yeah. What trucks are not allowed to drive at night? Some oversized loads have a permit, which may limit, depending on the state or where they're going, to daylight hours only. Otherwise, everybody can drive day and night. I drive at night, and there's tons of trucks out every night. Rocky Mountain doubles. Yeah, no sweat. A big and a little. Your Freightliner couldn't climb and shift at 7%. Any kind of grade, you should put it in manual so that it doesn't shift at a weird time on an automatic truck. Rocky Mountain doubles. Well, they like, can you take these over here? I'm like, it can't be any different than hauling two that are the same size. They all hook up the same. Use descent control. We don't have descent control, Jake's on this one. That's something they should put on there. If you choose to do doubles, you'll add it. You're not sure if they stay in Florida. Yeah, I found out, which I didn't know, from all of you helpful people, that in some states they don't stay on there. I could just kind of assume they did. Here they stay on, but in some states apparently they don't. I still think you should get them. You love night driving? Yeah, there's no traffic. Scales are closed. Everything's rolling good. The big, really big daylight hours, yeah. Depending on what your permit says on your load, on an oversized, you may be restricted to dusk to dawn, dawn to dusk, that kind of thing. Let's see. Sometimes by city too. Email when I get a free moment. Sure. Yeah, I'm having the bad signal, truckers. I'll shoot you an email for sure. Some big structures restricted tonight. Yeah, look, the permit is going to tell you when you can run. Depends. Sometimes they want you running at night so you don't block all the traffic up. It just depends. So in Illinois, you have to retake the endorsement. I would still say get it, honestly. I still say get them. Except in California where the scales never close. Well, we don't want to go to California, do we? You can't choose your gear or skip gears. There's a manual mode. Hold the button at the end and hold it in, and it'll say M on the dashboard, and that's manual. You can then pull the lever or push it to shift the truck yourself. Every tanker job wants 2 years experience. How are new grads supposed to get any tanker? TriMac, which I just did a video for, will take students. Okay, it's a few weeks out. I did that video a few weeks ago. They train you. Liquid Transport, which has a terminal here by me in Lafayette, they say that they'll train people. So there are places that will train you on tankers. Indian River hires anybody? Yeah, that's what I've heard. Matt's not going to California. Oh, Schneider, that's another good one, right? It's cut back to 1,600. Most know about that. Ours will go up, 2,100. It just depends. Automatic triple down or triple up. Yeah, we can do the same thing. Indian River does require pulse rate, though, apparently. Oh, and maybe a CDL, although that may be optional. I have heard that they're the Western Express of tankers. TriMac tanker, and you don't need your TWIC card. Yeah. TriMac, when I call them, they said, yeah, we have students. So they, and that's a good way to do it. A lot of those guys work every day. People, I should say. All right, Ryan, I appreciate it. Thoughts on JB Hunt? Yeah, we always bring them up. I think that, they pay pretty good in Indianapolis. They're running $70,000 ads home every day. Not bad. Still just like a auto. Some companies do lock out the manual mode, yes. Some of our trucks have it locked out. That is true. You should call them and say, hey, we need to be able to control it. They shouldn't do that. Maverick needs a TWIC. Do they want everybody to have a TWIC card at Maverick? Easiest company to get on with Carolina Cargo. Criminal cargo. Nice. People always ask me who I work for. I don't ever say who I work for because I do a lot of videos that may be somewhat negative to some companies because I think they should, change their ways. And so I don't want my company to come in and say, hey, you put our name out there, so we don't want you talking about these companies. So I don't put out who I work for. But I also don't recruit for them either. A lot of people are out here just recruiting for their companies. I don't do any of that either. Here's my number. I don't do that. I don't recruit for them. I don't let them in my video. So I get to say whatever I want. And they can just be wherever they are. And because I've been at my company over 16 years. So I'd like to keep it that way for a while longer, Right, Bailey, exactly. No politics either. Believe me, there's plenty of people talking politics on YouTube, for sure. You won't have any problem finding somebody like that. Some flatbed loads. Okay, so they don't want everybody to get a TWIC card. Maybe they could at least pay for it. Red Classic has openings in Frankfurt. Yeah, they've been running tons of ads up here. Surely. Thanks, Truckers Coach. Yes, I'm not referring anybody to my place. I don't get any kind of bonus or anything for that. So that's how I do it. I keep them out of it, and they don't pay me anything. Huh. You work for a small towing company. You work for Empire. Oh, okay. I never had a tow person on here. That's pretty good. Buck 95 grand. Super great. If I get fired, yes. I'll put them out there for that if they fire me because of videos. Yes. Then they'll get on. So watch it over there in my company. Be careful. Like they would care, right? They wouldn't care, but never know. But they could be put on for that. So that's just a warning out. Some of them subscribe, so they know I do the videos, but I don't mention the company name. You do heavy hauling as well as cars. So you tow even semis. So when my truck breaks down, you tow me a new truck, which happened to me, I don't know, about 8 years ago. The truck got hit by lightning when I was driving through a storm, and everything just kablamo. That was the end of it. And they towed me a truck. And then they towed that truck away, and I went on my way. Nothing worse than an RPM governed truck per gear and mile an hour per gear. It should go 2,000 at least. Greg just got in. Don't understand how a state can dictate that a driver can't use a paper log. Paper logs are fine with the DOT. They're only saying that you can't use your paper log in California unless you have the exemption, which is required. So you either have to have a truck that qualifies, 99 or older, a glider, so you have an older engine, or the exemption from the FMCSA that your electronic log is malfunctioning and you applied for and received an exemption. And you have to be able to show them that. Otherwise, no paper log. Or otherwise, you're home every day or however it works, right, where you otherwise can have it. But what they're getting in California is drivers saying, oh, my electronic log doesn't work. It just stopped working. Here's my paper log. And so that's not going to fly anymore because that's not the law. And they're not going to let that fly. I have a link to the article in the description if you want to read it. They've been giving warnings for this since April, and they're basically tired of it. So if you don't have an exemption or a reason, like your truck qualifies, it's a 99, right? Or you have a glider kit or something like that you can prove, not just say it, prove it. Then they're not letting you run a paper log. You'll be put out of service because you don't have a logbook. Let's see. Lots of rollover. Oh, you do a lot of rollovers. Good. First Amendment free speech. Yeah. Well, look. Even so, my company wouldn't say you can't say it. They just say you can't work here. So it's still First Amendment. I could say whatever I want. They say, well, you just don't have to work here and do it. You just got a call from Warner. You're dropping your truck at the Super Service Terminal. They want you to take a rental car. That's good. Well, at least they're giving you a rental car and not getting on the crack hound. So you just sit there if your e-logs don't work. No. There's a way through the FMCSA website to get, and you can apply for an email they'll have set up, and they give you an exemption. You say, all right, my e-log doesn't work. Here's my information, and they email back the exemption form just right there. So it is possible to get it apparently pretty fast, and you need that. You cannot run just on your say-so. You must get an exemption, and that's what California is saying. You're going to have to get that exemption if you want to run a paper log in California. They're going to enforce it. They said they've been giving warnings since April 1st. And now, they said now it's coming down to business. They said they are considering getting Eric Estrada himself to give tickets. That's how serious it's getting. That's serious. Greg, thank you very much. I appreciate that. MX-13 full or 10-speed. I don't know where you're putting a 10-speed in those trucks, right? That should have a 13. Good and bad about the PACCAR engines. I've never had one. So for me, the worst experience with anything attached to it. So those are totally the worst. You're currently on a paper log and work in California. I drive the oil spreader in road construction. So are you allowed to run a paper log under that operation? If you are, then you're okay. It's people coming in that are otherwise not allowed. They don't have any exemption. They're just like, it stopped working, to try to scam their way. They're not going to allow it anymore. That's what they're saying. Thanks, Bailey. I appreciate it. You know, tons of people in California run older trucks. A lot of people say they can't run over there. I don't see why not, right? You still can run an old truck in California. Kevin doesn't like pack cars. I didn't have a chance to drive one yet, but I've heard probably more bad than good about them. You don't understand why drivers don't like the e-logs. I don't know. I've been a fan of them since they came out, to much chagrin from drivers who send knives and angry emails to me, but I like them. I don't know why you wouldn't like them. You should get paid for all of your time, and then if everybody got paid overtime plus hourly, e-logs, everybody'd be all loving on them, wouldn't they? Yes, Wild Bill, it's totally serious. They're going to get that other guy too, whose name I can't think of at the moment. Didn't he die though? I'm not sure. Fuel tankers are 30-minute break exempt. Well, then, see, you'd be exempt from. I haven't heard that, but it's certainly possible. Oh, Mercedes engines? Oh my gosh, the old Freightliners that had Mercedes engines. They used to put a little sticker out on the behind the headlights. Remember that, Mercedes or whatever? They were making a big deal about it, and it turned out they were total junk. They weren't made for what we do here. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen one of those on the road in a while though. It's like getting a big cam Cummins out on the road. You just don't see them out there. Jakes don't work. I don't know. They work good in my truck. I think it's truck by truck. You prefer a pre-emission cat? Yikes. But you prefer 5 miles to the gallon. That is the problem. Fuel's so expensive. That's your main cost. If you can get something in the mid-8s, I think that's way better. Jakes work better in cruise, but down 7% grades, not so much. You know, the automatics need to be able to go to manual mode to best utilize the Jakes, especially going down a hill. If a company doesn't allow that, I'd really get on them and tell them it's a big safety problem and stuff, because I think it is. I don't like an automatic that can't go to manual mode with the Jakes, because, you'll do that in downshifts 3 gears and you're 2,400. I'm like, what the heck is going on? That's crazy how it does that. You should be able to control it yourself. Because on full Jake, you let off and it downshifts like to second. You're on the highway, it's in second. I never understood why they did that. They made that, the computer to do that. I can't believe why they allow it to rev so high. Cats get decent with good driving. I think now you need 7 plus to make any money. More, and the more the better. Dot, as I say, Dot has nice Volvos. I do like the way their trucks look. The other small downside on Dot, I almost said it, you hotbuck the truck. That's correct. If not, you might deal with a filthy beast. Unless you were OTRs, the 6 days and 34 hours home, you slip seated. But I had to give it to him because I expect him to hold a truck a half a year, 4 and 4. I just can't expect him to do that. So, bring your Febreze and your red lice spray in, and probably a sleeping bag, and hope for the best, because there's really it's not like you're over the road. If you're working 4 and 4 there, you just have no way to do it. You can't have them hold a truck a half a year for you. I can't expect them to do that. Expensive and not fuel efficient. Yeah, that's the problem. You want to get higher fuel mileage. Are we having a Christmas party? Yeah, come on over. The show will go live Christmas Eve as usual, by the way. So don't think like it's not going to be here. I may be the only one, but I thought, and then there were 100 people, so pretty good. For descent control, you put Jake in first and then set cruise. It should hold the speed. That's interesting. I'll try that today. I never have done it that way. With the cruise on. Oh, it's got the +5. It does say +5. So the Jake should come on at 5 over. That's how ours is set up. For towing and heavy haul, you're never going to get good fuel mileage. That's not how you make your money in towing. If you don't have performance, okay, I agree. Right, for that, but the money in towing is not in the fuel mileage, right? You don't have to work. That's not how they make their money. Dot has Peterbilts. Yeah, I saw a picture of one, but I haven't really seen them on the road. A cat with a 600, 2050 torque. If you must have a new engine, get the big ISX at 605. Yikes. How about a 16-liter Volvo? You bring a small bag and deal with it that way. 68 has me. That's not bad too. I saw that too. The little faster is, you're going to be able to actually pass people. I always notice that when I'm in a car. And I'm traveling somewhere, I'm like, wow, these trucks are really slow. They're super annoying. I'm like, I totally get why people don't like it, because it's time for me. So when I get on the highway, I'm like, wow, this is the grade. Yeah, there's not those grades here, but I agree. You've driven a 12 speed with the full and it slowed you down. The Volvo, Kevin says no to the big Volvo, 16-liter Volvo. You don't care, you're not paying the fuel bill. You'll drive what they give you for 4 on 4 off. That's almost the way. I mean, this is one of the cases where, I don't think you should slip seat a road truck. You're out a week, 2 weeks. That truck should sit when you're home, including your vacation. Okay, this 4 days off, like, it's crazy. US, that's crazy. But 4 and 4, what are we going to do? They can't sit the truck a half a year. I can't ask them to do that. 16-liter Volvo's a boat anchor, really. I saw a video of it pulling up Virginia, that hill as you go into Virginia, and it made 62 miles an hour, something at the top, 80,000 pounds. What year truck do I drive? I have a 2018 Freightliner Cascadia with a DD15 and 12-speed Eaton automatic. As long as you can pass prime, you're good. That's everybody. I passed them the other day. I was on one of those Bird scooters. I passed one. You don't have a problem with slip seating as long as the engine is good. You prepare yourself with armor, all Windex, and microfiber towels, and a microfiber lice-resistant suit. Look, as long as both of you take care of the truck, too, you don't want somebody who's not going to do anything, right? So they leave you with 10 lights out. Oh, too bad. I'm out of here. Volvo trucks are like larger women. They ride good, but who wants to be seen with one above? That's terrible. Just isn't right. I like, and I like the way Volvos look too. So I don't know about all that. I'll leave that right there where it sits, I guess. So that's pretty good on that. You clean the truck more than you clean your house? Wow. Well, you do good at TMC then, because we had a driver say that they come and check the grooves in the mat. They check the floor mat grooves besides checking your bed, which I thought was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Floor mat grooves. That's crazy. Yes, I agree. Leo, Mike, terrible. Yes. If I have any suggestions on your CDL, you're gonna have to each company at the time. Ask them. A lot of the mega carriers are going to be automatic restriction, so it's going to be tougher to get it. I don't think it's as big a deal as it used to be. I really don't think so. I think the automatic restriction, I think it eventually will go away, and I wouldn't say that you shouldn't get it. I would say you could try to not get it, would be better. But any large company that you go to is going to have the restriction. They're going to be in automatics pretty much everywhere. It's hard to get around them. Oh yeah, Volvo engines and all that. Oh yeah, other than that, they're hard to fix. The mechanics hate them. I agree. But other than that, they're great. Your company, you slip seat, and you're doing small repairs on every truck because nobody cares. If it's not the same people driving it, nobody cares. If it's the same two people, it won't be as bad as if it's you just take the next random truck. That's the worst way to do it. Nothing ever gets fixed. The Maverick cheerleader's too much chrome. Yeah, and the Marine Corps. That's how I've always heard it called. They're always called the Marine Corps. Just because of that kind of thing. Can't walk on the grass. You got to clean the grooves of your floor mat out. The truck's always got to be clean. You have to have clean, make your bed? Make your bed? Really? That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that, not doing any kind of that. They don't pay enough for all that stuff. Oh, ironic, how you could get them back to there? You should keep all those drivers on the pavement only. Yes, no dirt road access. The 16-liter Volt, yeah, from 15 years ago. That's when they came out. If TMC requires you to do that, you would have to log it. Anything the company, a motor carrier, it says, that they require you to do, whether it's compensated or not, is on duty time, legally. So that's an interesting way to get back at them if you work there. Anything you have to do is legally on duty if a motor carrier requires it. They require you to make the bed, then you have to log that as on duty time. So as you're cleaning the grooves out, you're on duty and say, oh, sorry, I'm late on the load. I had to clean the grooves of my floor mats. and see what they think about that. You'll have to agree to disagree with on the Volvo. Freightliner, look, I love my Freightliner. I just like the way, and since I don't have to pay to fix it, right, I like the way I've driven one here. They ride good. I like the way it shifts. The automatic is way better than my Eaton, I think. But absolutely, if you need it for something like that, that's a different story. I just like it from that side of it. I think we really agree on it otherwise. The guy that started TMC should have stayed in the Marine Corps if they want things to be like that. Drivers don't need all that kind of stuff in the background. I got to clean the grooves of my seat out. The slip seat company, nobody cares about the trucks because it's probably different people all the time. They have less than 200,000 and they're in bad shape. That's sad. That's what happens when you get people slip seating and it's never the same people. And that's always my worry about buying a used truck from a large company, especially a training company. We don't know how many people drove that truck and none of them care at all about it. It's even a little scary when you buy a used car, but certainly on the truck, certainly. And too much groove cleaning, that's about enough. Still get the Bulldog Gold if you get it all Mac, all the way front to back. You keep a clean truck and you served in the Army, but you're not going to clean the grooves for free. They should pay you, but I'll tell you what, you should log it. It's legally on duty time. JB Hunt, same thing, right? You have to leave. Newer trucks are in poor condition. That's them. That's a management thing too. They should be out there making sure the trucks are taken care of. It costs them a fortune to fix the trucks because people let it go and let it go. Then it costs them a fortune later. That isn't right. They shouldn't want that. But they don't care because the money's being made. You've heard K&B is the same. Yes, they're the worst company out here for micromanaging, probably. That's how they made crap company here. Although I got to give them credit. They're one of only a couple companies to ever defend themselves by emailing me and then talk. I called them up, right? They wanted me to call. And so one of the only places that at least defended themselves. The rest of the places don't even care. They at least call and say, hey, you're wrong about this. You should. I care, no work, I make no money, right? You should treat it like it's yours. Yes. I mean, to give it a sense of piece of equipment, we want to be called professionals. We should at least, treat it with a little respect. It's super expensive. Heartland Express has no inverters, so they at least have an APU, so you can at least plug something in. I would at least expect that from a company. That's the least they can do at Heartless. John McCain is here from the grave. That's the second person today. Prince was also here earlier from the grave. John McCain has come in to say hello to the rest of us. How is George Bush? Have you shown him around the place over there? You got a company to check into Suit Transportation. I've never heard of them. Are they a big place? At your company, you had a couple over 17,000 on the service. That's a lot. K&B has the biggest week guarantee. That's correct. But micromanaging, that's right. And that's what I said. I didn't care how much they paid you. The aggravation of the job was crazy. And it didn't matter what they paid. I don't care. I would never work there. I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter. They could guarantee 2,000. I'm not going to have them looking over my shoulder every second doing stuff like that. No way. Amber, what's happening out there? Run hard, get paid, had that video. That was amazing video. But I'll tell you about, if you want to look up some videos, there have been a ton of videos since then by drivers that they're doing the same thing. Some recent as a month ago. They didn't change their ways at all. It didn't make any difference. Even though he's got 1 million views on that video, last I looked at it. What do I think about cab overs? They probably won't come back. I don't think back. You've been at the for the service. Worst case is to risk it to get the loads out. Would you do it on your car? I mean, do you let your car go 3 times over the service? No way, because we want it to run right. So it should be the same on a truck. They should get them in on it. They shouldn't want you break it down. Oil on a car or yeah, Matt, that was really an incredible video. It was really something. When he called, we talked. Worked at Useless Express for 10 days. Nice. White Knight, hopefully my video. Right? I have a couple videos about K and B out there. They're a few months old now. Go check them out. They called me. They actually wrote to me, and then I talked to the guy. But at least he had the guts to come out and defend his company, where most of these other places don't even care. And I'm the number one video names, so they should come at least say something to me. Freightliner is the only manufacturer of a glider cab over. Yeah, the Argosy, right? You would not do it on your car, right? It's your car. It's just like it was your truck. Well, right, you wouldn't let the PM go. They shouldn't let the service go. They know when their truck is due for service. They should go, hey, Roy, let's get this truck in for service. You're way overdue, or something. You know, they should know when it needs to come in. It's their truck. They would want to maintain it. It would seem like. How expensive are the wheel covers? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. The trucks have them. They fall off a lot. Some of our trucks only have 2 or 3 of them, so I don't recommend them. There's a guy that has a 61 International. Yikes. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to run freight with it? You couldn't believe the dispatcher was asking him when he was tired. Oh, that's all the time. There's tons of videos of them doing the same thing. You talked to a dot recruiter today. You told them you were finding him through me. Oh, nice. Oh, they're going to give me a call. That's great. They don't know my number. They'll have to send me an email. Is Western giving drivers max? I haven't seen one. I wouldn't be surprised. Michael, what's happening? Emery was the first truck purchased to haul cattle with. Yeah, but are you going to run? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to run freight with it? Oh, you're going to haul flatbed and materials? That'd be great. I will tell you, you get looks everywhere you go running something like that around. Oh, guess what? ELD exempt, huh? Ah! Oh, you're going at 50 mile, you'll be exempt anyway. That'd be really, really cool to see that on the road. To see something like, is it even diesel powered? Because look, I had in the early 90s, we had a Dodge. At one place I worked, gas powered Dodge 460. The minute Google Maps does truck GPS, you'll be happy. There are truck GPSs out there. You can download them in the App Store. What is it? That's pretty good. I'd really love to see that thing on the road. Get a picture of that thing and send it. I'd love to see that. We'll put it up in the gallery because that would really be something to see. Well, it's 3:43 and I will have to get off to work here today. But I do appreciate everybody coming here. And Matt got a call from K&B. You really have to recruit it when they talk about the emphasis they put on safety. Yeah, their safety. So you don't run into their building, right? Oh, it's pumped up to 400 horse. Wow. It probably could take it. Then it's all iron block and everything. That's pretty good. I'd love to see it. Send a picture. And everybody can send whatever they want to mark@truckinganswersnation.com. It was your dad's first truck. Got to see it. Send me a picture of it. Straight up, thank you for being here today. Thanks, Edgar. And let me know how it goes through this next couple of weeks, as it takes a while to get on there, The trucks here are detuned. Yeah, that's everybody, right? They don't care. They're always just trying to squeeze fuel miles like a GM from 1988. Yeah. Should drivers form their own union? They're not allowed to. We're not allowed to form a national union. Drivers should not accept, all these long periods of not being paid. They should not accept it. If you didn't accept it, they wouldn't do it. That's the real problem. We just have to get to people before they sign on that line. That is the next goal here. That's what we're going to do. Triple V, you're quite welcome. I answer everyone's email, including yours. Thank you for writing, everybody, too. I love hearing from everybody every day and answering emails and talking about whatever you want. It can be trucks or Star Trek or Forge or anything you want. White Knight, thank you for that. Roy, your personal truck has more power than your work truck. That's sad, isn't it? That's sad. Thank you, Wild Bill, for coming in today. Yeah, it has the Kenworth. That's correct. Roy, I answer emails. I do. We're not arguing. You are misguided, I think, is the problem. I'm trying to get you back on the right path. So, Kevin, thanks for being here today. Okay, thanks, Bailey. I appreciate that. There's going to be some more going on, and there'll be Crap Company of the Year and Crap Company Tour shirts, which I think are going to be hilarious. So, Western Distributing is low pay, and I think you're going to see them on a Wednesday show. I do think that because their pay is so low. And I want to apologize to everybody for today. I know the feed has been spotty today, but I can't get off of it. So because if I get out and then everybody's booted out. So, but I apologize for the bad feed today for sure. The guy, well, I bought right, and it's a tiny Chevy. Let's be honest about it. If I put a Cummins in that Sonic, it would be faster than the pickup truck. That's for sure. Yes, I love the Stevie Wonder shirt. People should go check that out at the store on Teespring. They're pretty hilarious. So 3:46, I'm out of here, headed to work. So it wasn't you though, Roy. Thanks for everybody for being here. It's been another great Monday. Will be some more videos this week, and send your suggestions or whatever in. And I'm going to head to work. And everybody, be safe out there. Let's get everybody paid, right? Hashtag it, get paid. And let us know how Werner goes out there, all right? So, Burner's right. Ray Charles Express. No, Ray Charles Trucking School, right? It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great day. I got to head off to work. I will see you on the next one. Be safe.